Nasty on a Tuesday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. 203, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Does the Cardinals' best outfield have Michael Siani in it? Yeah, that's right. Get the good call.
I do my job every day.
There you go.
This is why I was just perplexed, because you're usually on your game.
I turned the main lights off.
For those who are listening and don't understand what we're complaining about or talking about, we've got disco lights here in the studio.
It's a party.
They must go on.
I turn them on every day.
And Carey does a great job.
I forgot.
He's our lighting engineer.
Yeah. We started talking about something way more interesting.
We sure did, Carey. We sure did.
Kind of lost me for a minute.
We got into an actual documentary this time. Yeah, we have theories about something. So, Katie Woo is reporting that Tommy Edman could be back or should be back following the All-Star break. July 19th is kind of the target date for Tommy Edman to return to the team. What does this do for Michael Siani, who has carved out a regular role in the outfield? He is the guy they rely upon the most in center. You might see some Lars Nootbaar in center. You might see some other guys get it, like Dylan Carlson here and there. But with Siani, they feel most comfortable with him. And why not? The guy has been elite defensively. When Tommy Edman returns, what do you think the outfield situation looks like? What do you think the lineup looks like? Where are you guys on that?
I can't see in any sane world where you take Michael Siani out of the outfield. Mm-hmm. This ball club, the Cardinals ball club, we discussed it a bit yesterday, they're not pounding opponents into submission. They're winning one-run ball games. And when you're doing that, it takes good defense. You need good bullpen, for sure. Rotation, it'd be nice if a starter does good, but certainly a good bullpen, and you need great defense.
Yeah.
And that's where Michael Siani comes in. I'm not saying that Tommy Edman isn't a great center fielder, but defensively, he's not as good as Michael Siani. Most people in all of Major League Baseball this year are not as good defensively as Michael Siani.
Right.
In fact, Alec Burleson, who was interviewed by Jimmy the Cat Hayes on Bally Sports Midwest, also touching on the defense in the one-run games and Michael Siani. Here's what he had to say.
Oh, man, he means so much. Obviously, we've played in a lot of tight games, this year, and some of those may come down to balls he makes plays on, or so it's a lot of fun to watch him. And when I'm out there with him, I know he's going to get to some balls that maybe I should be getting to, but he's going to get to them first. So.
How do you take a guy like that out of your lineup? You're in a one-run game. He's like he's saving ball games with the way he's playing. Oh, but Tommy Edman's back. We're just going to roll out the red carpet, and here you go. Take over your center field, and Michael Siani back to the bench. Mm-hmm. Or even worse, Memphis, because you can with him. I don't see it.
I got two numbers for you: 7 and 7. Now,
that's a great drink.
Well, yeah, it is. 7 and 7 is a good drink. Uh-huh. Now, one of those 7s has an M behind it. The other is a K.
Yeah.
700K or 7 mil. The 7 mil. Usually, those are the two contracts. Tommy Edman, $7 million. Michael Siani, $741,000.
Yeah, take that extra money, go get yourself a pitcher at the deadline.
Usually, Jamie, you know this. Now,
if it works that way.
No, that doesn't work that way. You know this. You asked the question, what should happen? Michael Siani should play every day from here on out, because he's done an outstanding job. But Jamie, you know this because you've played at the highest level. The contract plays. And if you're paying $7 million to someone, it ain't to sit on the bench and be a pinch runner or be a late inning substitute in the outfield. You're going to play him. And I think it's unfortunate. I think it's something that if it were to happen, which I think it will happen, it could kind of disrupt that clubhouse, because Michael Siani has earned the right to play every single day. He's hitting against left-handed pitching. He's doing an outstanding job.
He's starting to hit a little bit, yeah.
He's starting to do, he's becoming a well-rounded outfielder. Probably your best center fielder, even with Tommy Edman back. But the contract always plays, and guys work their butt off to earn said contract. And you don't earn a contract. People do not. We had a situation last year. I don't know if you guys remember this. They were going to put the $85 million catcher in the outfield. Somebody made a call and said, yeah, no, I didn't pay him to play in the outfield. His ass is going to be behind the plate. Okay. Because that's what he got paid to do. And so, generally speaking, contracts play. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right, but I think that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I just look at it as, how bad do you want to win, though?
You want to win.
Because this team was last place. They were a laughing stock of baseball last year. And now they've got what seems to be an identity again, which is the defense that they're playing.
Yeah.
Mason Wynn at shortstop, Brendan Donovan. You still have Arenado and Goldie. Down years for them, but they're perennial Gold Glovers. Future Hall of Famers or potential Hall of Famers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your identity now.
So why wouldn't you kick Tommy Edman back to second then?
That's a lot of questions in the text line.
You know
on
why?
the text thread.
Because you got a big bopper at second base right now. You could play at DH.
But then
if you're outfield, hang on. This is where it gets crazy, right?
Now you're putting one of your other boppers.
Well,
on
then
the bench.
Burleson's out or Nootbaar's out, and
Right.
you can't have everybody in the lineup.
No.
I would love Tommy Edman to be second
But
base. He's a Gold Glove second baseman.
But you just said it. Right. So what is your identity? This is what happens when you try to catch both rabbits at the same time. You wind up with none. If your identity is defense, then go with Tommy Edman at second base. Yes, Carey, your hand is
You got a guy that's
slightly
going
raised.
to be a free agent next year, playing first base. And you move him at the deadline and put Burley at first, and then that kind of solves a few problems.
It certainly does, but Goldie's got a no trade clause.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to waive it.
And you need
not
Something
going
you
to
could
get-
you could free up a spot next year, sure.
Or he's not
But-
going to. If you're not going to re-sign him in another team, say, yeah, we'll give you a few dollars for next year.
Well,
I would entertain it, certainly,
we're also
but I don't think he would.
We're also going to talk today about a couple things Katie Wu said, which is the Cardinals looking to acquire another right bat at the deadline. I don't know if they're going to get rid of Goldie in his right bat
I don't think so
for
either.
Burleson to be a left bat, which I know Goldie isn't producing. It's the big if.
You're going to have some people that are deserving to play that are not going to be playing. And I think it's going to be Michael Siani. You're not going to sit Gorman on the bench. You're not going to sit Burley on the bench. You're not going to sit $7 million a year that Tommy Edman is making on the bench.
And they really like him, too. It's not
And they
just
do.
the money.
And
Yeah.
Nootbaar, maybe if he's not hitting, maybe he's the odd man out, and you figure out how to figure out that outfield with Edman, Siani, and Brendan Donovan.
What are your thoughts? We get some of the text lines active, which I love. Thank you. Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. A lot of people are saying, hey, just Tommy Edman's a utility guy. Just move him around.
Not for $7 million.
Carey, right now, the $7 million, the $7 million would matter, I think, in like April and May.
Oh.
This point here, where you're in a playoff spot and you want to continue to go, I don't know if the salary plays.
I think the salary always
I don't
plays.
know.
I mean, you could move. Days you want to give Mason Wynn a rest. It's not Brandon
Donovan,
Crawford. It's Tommy
Wynn.
Edman. Yeah,
Gorman.
you can essentially play the matchup. So why don't we get into that next then? Because this now becomes a critical second half for Oli Marmol. If you talk about moving Tommy Edman around, then it is incumbent upon Oli Marmol to utilize his entire roster. It's kind of the good and bad of bringing back Tommy Edman. You've got now more moving pieces, but those pieces have to fit every single day. So we'll get into Oli Marmol next. But as Jamie noted, if you want to get involved in the conversation, Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646, or leave us a mic drop. Kind of an open, free-flowing Tuesday here in the Fast Lane in terms of this conversation. With Tommy Edman, who is slated to play a minor league game, I believe, tonight. Yeah, Oli Marmol said Tommy Edman, according to John Denton, is still on track to play his first game of 2024 with AA Springfield tonight on Tuesday. Edman will hit righty and lefty, play DH and center field in the first few games. He'll work up to 9 innings. So with Tommy Edman on track to return pretty soon, what would you do with him, Siani, Gorman? Leave us a mic drop. We'll get into Oli and his critical decision-making next on 101 ESPN.
Jamie Rivers back with you here, joined by my good friend Tracy Bibb from the Bibb Agency. Tracy, I'm looking outside, and I see a lot of rain. And with rain, sometimes comes flooding, which can be a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely. People get all kinds of water-related issues with their homes during this kind of time when we have a ton of water. Sometimes it's flooding, right, where it comes in over your foundation. That is something that is excluded from your home policy. So if you don't have an actual flood policy, you will not have coverage for that situation. We can write flood policies at the Bibb Agency. We'd love to talk to you about it. The other thing that sometimes happens this time of year when you have a lot of rain is too much water and your sump pump can't handle it, or maybe the power goes out and your sump pump fails and water comes up through there. You have a sewer drain and water comes up through there. That usually has to be endorsed onto a policy in order for there to be coverage. And if you don't have an agent that's sitting down, understanding the area that you live in to make sure that they talk to you about those coverages so you can select the right coverages for you, you need to talk to us. That's what we're here for, is to help you with those things.
That's exactly why the 1-800 numbers sometimes aren't very good, because those people don't know your situation, don't know what's going on in your area. Well, Tracy Bibb does. And all you have to do is give Tracy a call today. That number is 314-328-4260. Again, that's 314-328-4260. Tracy, thank you so much for everything.
Thanks so much. Go Blues.
Siani stays in center when Edmonds comes back, and Edmonds goes to second base. He's a second base Gold Glover. And then Gorman becomes the designated hitter. He is a good designated hitter, and he's also okay at second base, but he's not a Tommy Edmonds.
Okay, so that was Janet. Now, Janet put most of the pieces together. That would obviously mean, though, that Alec Burleson or Newt is out of the lineup. Because if you kick Gorman to DH, which I don't mind what Janet's saying, and we're having this conversation because
it's a
Tommy
natural
Edman,
progression.
It is. Tommy Edman, he's scheduled to play tonight in Double-A Springfield. He's coming back. He's going to be coming back in the next couple of weeks. So we're having this conversation of, what's the domino effect? And I like what Janet outlines. Leave Siani in center, put Tommy Edman at second base. But if you shift Gorman to DH, what are you doing with Alec Burleson? Burleson, to me, is an everyday player, period.
His bat has to play every day.
So he either plays in right and Nootbaar goes to the bench, or you do some sort of combination between Burleson, Nootbaar, Donovan, Gorman, and you just kind of rotate those guys.
We got so many questions at the end of last year, the beginning of this year. Well, what does the manager do? Fire the manager. This is why managers, coaches get paid money. This is why they get paid. These are the decisions that they have to make. You have to find the best 9 players to put out there on the field every single day, the best 9 hitters that you can find to put in the lineup every single day. This is why they get paid the money that they get paid. And this is going to be a critical moment for Oli Marmol trying to figure out where these pieces of the puzzle fit. Who are the best guys that I can play every single day, and where do they play?
Right.
This is the hard part. This is why they get paid. And we ask all the time, well, the manager, no, the players play the game, but the managers prepare them, and they put them in the right places to have the most success. So if you decide that, all right, Alec Burleson, you're out now, and your lineup starts stinking, that's problematic. If you take Lars Nootbaar out, you're out now. We haven't had you all season for the most part. You can be the odd man out. And he's the one that you need to have in the lineup, then that's a problem as well. So this is where Oli Marmol is going to make his money, figuring out which guys deserve to play every single day and having, in my opinion, a stagnant lineup, a lineup that is the same, preferably every single day, minus the odd day off for players. This is where he gets paid.
So who goes to the bench full time then?
I don't
Do you
get
need
paid.
somebody go to the bench full time?
No, you don't. But if
Somebody
you're talking about a stagnant lineup, and we have discussed it, somebody's going to have to be a part-time player.
Yeah. I think it's Michael Siani. I don't think that that's fair, and I don't think that that's right, but I think that that's what happens. I don't think you take Gorman out and put him as the DH, because now you're taking either Nootbaar or Burley out. And Burley has earned the right to play every day, as you said, and they love Lars Nootbaar. Mm-hmm. And so, first man in, first guy out, which is Siani. He's to me, he seems primed to be the person, and it does not seem fair. It's not going to be right. He's been playing Gold Glove defense in center field all season long. Every time you turn on the game, he is making a play. It is beautiful to watch. But I think he's the guy that's going to be watching the game when Tommy Edman comes back.
So, Carey, you said something earlier about how you didn't want Tommy Edman being a utility player or because of his salary, right? You said something about the salary.
I don't think he will be because of his salary.
There's a guy that is named Ben Zobrist. He was paid pretty good money, and he was a utility player. Right. Why can't the Cardinals just replicate Ben Zobrist with that whole experiment with Tommy Edman? Tommy Edman can play second, short, left, center, right.
Yeah, you could. Absolutely. So you're sending somebody to the bench once a day, but now you're not talking about a stagnant lineup.
I know.
Every day is changing.
You're talking about maybe not a platoon, but one that
the guys are getting days off anyways, though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So this is one of those things.
Like, it's not really a platoon if each guy's got designated. Like, got to get Goldie off his feet today.
Right.
So Burley goes to first, Tommy Edman goes to right field.
That's what I think they'll wind up doing.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you trust Oli to do that successfully?
When they come back from the break, who's starting and where?
Depends.
Who's not playing that day?
So I think it depends on the matchup. This is where I think coaches and managers start to play to the press conference. And this is what I mean by that. They start to look at things as if, what can I convince the media and the fan base based on my decision making?
You better be trying to convince the players in that clubhouse.
I agree with you. I'm not saying this is the right. I'm not saying this is the way to do it. But you just asked a very important question. So what's the first thing that if you're going to answer that question yourself? I think the thing that you would jump to is who's on the mound for the other team. Like, I don't know who they open up the second half against, but whoever's pitching for that team, you wind up playing the matchups. That's what's going to wind up happening. Who needs a day off? Who's got, maybe some decent head-to-head success against the pitcher? They start to play this splits game, and you become what Major League Baseball teams typically are now, which is this revolving situation in your lineup and in the field.
They play Atlanta in Atlanta.
Okay.
I don't know.
So probably Chris Sale or Max Fried.
Well, speaking of Atlanta, they did this a couple years ago when they brought in Eddie Rosario because he ended up doing the whole platoon thing, and he would with the splits and whatnot.
Jorge Soler was part of that deadline, and so was Jock Peterson.
Outfield, Acuna, you had Marcell Ozuna, You had Jorge Soler, Eddie Rosario, Jock Peterson. That's more than 3 guys in your outfield, but they made it work.
So Acuna,
Can the Cardinals make it work?
That was the year that Acuna got hurt.
He got hurt. Yeah.
Yes.
So they made the deals for Peterson, Soler, and Rosario, and they said they kind of built it in the aggregate, right? They built Ronald Acuna in the aggregate. They said, what can we do, Moneyball style? I know nobody likes to talk about this, but they said we cannot replace Ronald Acuna. But we'll take Soler's power and Peterson's power and Rosario's flexibility and ability to get on base and build Ronald Acuna that way. And it worked. Other teams have tried to do that, and it didn't work. But, Marsh, I think to your bigger point, Oli now has these pieces. Can he solve the riddle every single day? This is going to be very important moving forward. He has got to have a pulse on his clubhouse. This is why he's paid. It's not the lineup, by the way. It's not constructing the lineup. It is which guy in what spot and why. This is crucial now in the second half for Oli. And this is coming from a guy that typically says that managers, the role is often we complicate what the manager's actual job is. We think it's about bullpen and lineup. No, you manage the team.
Yes. This is the moment. This is why they get paid. Figuring out who plays and who doesn't.
Oli spotlights
when
on
other
Oli.
people do play.
Correct.
Like when you allow, when you pinch hit, when you pinch run, when you do a defensive substitution, those are the moments that, now what the players do on the field, that's on them.
Right.
But these moments, figuring out this lineup and figuring out who's playing every day, in my opinion, is going to be a big thing for Oli in the second half and for this Cardinals team.
If the Cardinals actually wanted to win, would Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado be in this lineup come October if they are hitting the way they are right now?
Yes, but this goes back to what we're talking about with the identity. What type of team do you want? That is the most important question for Oli. How do you win games? How do you lose games? Can those guys defensively still elevate your team? Yes. They're not good in the middle of the lineup. They're hitting below their career norms. How do you intend to win games in August, September, and hopefully October?
I think it's got to be defense.
Me too.
Okay.
That's what it's been so far. These one-run games prove to me that it's defense.
Let's go there.
And you have a pen.
You get to
Ball, good
October, who's playing and who's not. Because it's essentially
your best defense.
So, okay.
And nobody's going to like it, by the way. We're going to get a bunch of comments here.
So Burley or Gorman are out.
One of them will be out. One of them will be the DH.
But that's a good bat to have off the bench.
Correct. And one of them will be a bat bench that day. Yes.
That's a great point, too, because as you get into the playoff games and you get through that starting pitcher and you get to the next guy in the bullpen, it might be a matchup thing where Gorman's on the bench that game, but they start a lefty, go to a righty. Now you got the big bopper, or reverse of that, too, Burleson, too. Burleson might have certain pitchers that he hits better against or certain styles of pitcher.
Yeah.
And who's to say it's automatically one of those two? What if it's Newt-Bar? What if it's...
It would be easier if one of them batted right-handed, I think.
Well...
Newt, Gorman, or Burley.
It would be nice. Or even Donovan. It'd be nice if one of them swung right-handed, but they don't.
So I know we'll probably get the text of, well, the team has needed offense in the postseason over the last couple of years. I realize that. I get that. I have seen average offenses win the World Series, and so have you. It's more about pitching and suffocating defense.
So then you need to trade a guy to get pitching is what Anthony's saying. All right, 227.
You could do that,
What Anthony
Carey.
just said.
He could.
Trade one of them.
Pitching is important.
Hey, I heard
Depends on what pitcher you're going to get.
Would you trade, I know we talked about Tommy Edman, would you rather trade Tommy Edman or Lars Newt-Bar?
Newt-Bar.
I think you get more for Newt-Bar, too.
So do I.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the guy can stay healthy. It's why I would have traded Tyler O'Neill, just like they did. And I realize that Tyler O'Neill has looked very good at times. He's also made, 3 trips to the injured list?
Yes, 3.
At some point, you have to say, I can't trust you to be on the field. I know what you can do when you're on the field, but I don't know if you're going to be on the effing field.
And to that point, things could play itself out, too.
It will. But we can't say that because we're on the radio and we need 4 hours to fill March. So don't be talking about.
Sorry,
Don't be talking about that.
You say that.
I don't want to be rational. My
You
bad.
say that, but following the All-Star break, if things continue there, they'll all be healthy.
Yes.
Following
you're right.
the All-Star break, someone's got to go. One will have to go literally off the roster. So who the hell would that be?
BK and Ferrario and T-Bone play. One's got to go.
Yeah.
So
I think Crawford will get DFA'd.
Probably.
You don't need him.
Yeah.
You don't need him, especially if you've got Donovan, Edman. He can play shortstop.
Might be Carlson.
I don't think I'd DFA Carlson ahead of Crawford.
They won't DFA him, but Crawford, I imagine.
Or Crawdaddy might go on the 10 to the 20-day IL to the
Back is hurting.
60-day.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Hamstring.
All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN.
Oblique.
Could be anything. You never know. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. What's trending is next.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals were scheduled to take on the Kansas City Royals today. However, due to forecasted inclement weather in the area, tonight's game against the Royals has been postponed. It will be made up as part of a split doubleheader tomorrow at 12:45. The gates will open at 11:45. Game 2 will then begin as scheduled at 6:45. So we'll have a doubleheader tomorrow. We are taking your mic drops. What are your thoughts on the Cardinals situation with all their injured players coming back? Would you continue having Michael Siani play center field? What would you do with Tommy Edman, the rest of the lineup? Let us know what you think. Send us a mic drop. Also, text us to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll get to those throughout the remainder of the show. But we have What's Trending coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, what's been trending has Jordan Walker being traded to a certain team for pitching, maybe another bat, who knows, but that has been the talk of the town as of late, what to do with Jordan Walker. Well, Ken Rosenthal was on Foul Territory today talking about what the Cardinals could do with Jordan Walker. Let's take a listen, and then we shall discuss.
I know it's going to be a topic of discussion, but Jordan Walker is in AAA right now, not really hitting all that well. They're trying to make some adjustments with him. He's trying to get to a point where he is a better player than he's been. He has all the promise in the world, but you'd be trading him at a low point, right? You'd be selling low. And we all know the Cardinals have been burned in trading outfielders over the years, one after another. Lane Thomas is one, Randy Arozarena. I can go right down the list. Fans know all about this. I'm not sure they want to make that move with Jordan Walker just yet. They have other major league pieces that they will be able to move because of their injured players coming back.
Obviously, we just touched on some of those injured players that will be back after the All-Star break, but after hearing what Ken Rosenthal said, should that put this Jordan Walker being traded, that conversation, should it be put to bed?
I don't know if it can be.
It won't, because teams are going to ask. Teams are going to ask for Jordan Walker. They're going to ask for the top player. They know now that Mason Wynn's is going to be off limits. But with Jordan Walker, why? If you're another team, why wouldn't you ask about Jordan Walker? Hey, you seem a little frustrated with Walker, and he's down in AAA. We'll take him off your hands. You need pitching, or you need a right-handed bat.
For what type of pitching?
They will absolutely lowball them.
There you go.
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. Sell low. You never want to sell low.
No,
sell high.
I'm not saying the Cardinals should ever entertain this, but
I'm saying, yeah, I agree. I think
not ever entertain it, but they shouldn't entertain it now
because he's not playing well enough to get the return that you would want. So if you trade him and then he goes on and does turn the corner and starts being the player that you projected him to be, you probably are going to lose that trade, and it's probably going to be really bad. So, I don't know what you do. I think you let him finish this year out in AAA, let him reset, and hopefully, he starts to hit for power, and does a better job, come spring training next year.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you can get a young, dominant pitcher, Garrett Crochet, we talked about him yesterday. I think it'll take more than Jordan Walker. But if it doesn't hurt too bad, if it doesn't sting too much, you make that trade. I just look at what a guy's already doing at the major league level. He's not at AAA. He's not he's not a potential. He's not a maybe projected. No, he is the real deal.
Right.
And if you can add that to your lineup with a couple more years of team control, anyways, even if Walker turns out to be a really good player, you really didn't lose that trade.
Assuming, yeah, right, that you got an ace in return. No, I agree with that. It's going to take, like, we got Ryan reached out to many of us on Twitter a couple hours ago and said, what would it take to get Garrett Crochet from the White Sox? It's going to take Jordan Walker. It's going to take one of your top pitching prospects. It's going to take another guy that's probably performing well, and then somebody that is in low A. I mean, it is going to be a package of four guys that some Cardinals fans are going to look at and say you gave up too much. That's what those type of deals are worth. You're talking about a young, cost-control pitcher that is pitching very well. I mean, the White Sox are never favored unless Garrett Crochet is on the mound. I mean, this is a stud right now. So it's going to hurt, but you would get an ace in return, somebody that you know can be an ace.
And maybe that's what Jordan Walker's value is to ultimately end up getting you the ace that we've all been looking for.
It's a great point, Marsh. That's a great point. You want to develop those guys, but if you can't, then yeah, maybe that's the purpose of somebody like Walker.
Does it hurt if he goes to a team like the White Sox, a team that really hasn't had success in, how many years? I know they were a playoff team a few years ago, but just like that.
Yes.
They're now one of the worst teams in baseball. Mm-hmm. And I know that we have talked about before, we're giving up all these players and they go and they find success elsewhere. Okay, Lane Thomas. He's on the Washington Nationals.
Right.
They're okay.
Yeah.
Randy Arozarena has significantly dipped. Mm-hmm. Some of these other players, they're not winning World Series. I know Randy Arozarena came close in that COVID year, and he's been fine. He was an all-star last year, but if he goes to a bad team, does it really hurt that much?
Well, and what's the key? Like, what's the common denominator here with Lane Thomas and Randy Arozarena besides their outfielders? They got opportunities to play elsewhere. Lane Thomas is getting an opportunity to play every single day with the Nationals. If you were a Brave, would he be playing every day? Or would he be more in like that Adam Duvall role where he's playing 3-4 times a week?
Yeah, I think that would be the case.
We're talking about somebody, Lane Thomas, you go to the Nationals, like, he gave up Lane Thomas. He wasn't going to play here. Now, we could debate whether or not he should have had more of an opportunity, and I know that's the case for Randy Arozarena. I get that. But he goes to the Nationals, he got the opportunity to play. So Jordan Walker, let's stick with him for a second. Let's full circle this thing. He goes up to Chicago, and he plays well. He'd be playing every day and playing for a bad team. He'd be getting those opportunities. I wouldn't be shocked if he had, a good career with the White Sox. But to your point, and Jamie's point, if you get an ace out of it, what are we talking about here? You don't like it, Carey.
Nah, I just don't know if you're going to get an ace.
If you don't get an ace, then he's staying put.
It's based on the premise of that.
Yes.
Like, I'm not just forcing a trade. I'm not looking to move Jordan Walker.
Right.
Unless you have an ace for me that is still cost controlled for at least a year or two. Mm-hmm. More would be fantastic, but at least those are the parameters. I'm not picking up my phone unless that's what you're bringing to me. If you're bringing me a fourth or fifth in the rotation veteran guy, no thanks. We're good.
I got you.
Last thing here, the ESPY Awards are coming up here in a few days, the 11th. And Jamie sent me this, and I wanted to ask you guys. There are 4 standout performances over this past year. You have Patrick Mahomes, Shohei Ohtani, Scotty Scheffler, and Connor McDavid. Which one of those guys is getting your vote for the best athlete in men's sports?
Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
With guys
Anthony,
that
can you
weren't
just
catching
use
well.
that criteria? Can you just like Shohei Ohtani is on this, and Connor McDavid, who's almost single-handedly drug a team to a Stanley Cup, and Scotty Scheffler gets forgotten about because we don't follow golf all that closely. But if you look at his record and the wins and what he's been doing,
how'd the Angels do last year?
He was the MVP of that. Should tell you. Everything, though.
Sorry, how did the Angels do?
Say it, Anthony.
They weren't.
The ESPY's not for best team.
He won the
Dead
MVP.
Yeah.
He won the
Had a good
MVP.
day. Had a nice year.
He's not even going to play.
What does that say? If you can be dead last and still be the best player in baseball?
Very good.
And on track to probably repeat, maybe.
Mahomes won a Super Bowl. All I heard from
Did he
you
win
guys.
an MVP?
All I heard
Not
from you
last year.
guys.
I know.
Was how he had nobody to throw to, and they're not going to win because they don't have receivers, and this, that, and the other thing.
Chiefs fan.
And he goes out and he wins the Super Bowl. And now it's like, yeah. He sucks.
Chiefs fan for 2 whole weeks he was.
I think it has to be Patrick Mahomes.
Thank you, Marsh.
Like, he's the only one that won. I mean,
Yeah,
Scotty
but wait.
Scheffler did too.
Yeah. Settle down. And what's the SP4? Male athlete of the year, right? Not male
Hell of an
athlete on a good team.
and a winner.
Then that's not the criteria.
He wasn't, yeah.
Out of,
wasn't the
so out of
MVP.
those four
Do you know
guys,
why- do you know-
hang on. Out of those four guys, who was the most dominant in their sport?
Patrick Mahomes.
No, he wasn't.
Who's better than
He
Mahomes?
wasn't even the MVP of his league.
Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei doesn't play football. Who
Okay.
was better than Mahomes?
Last year,
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson won the MVP.
How'd he do?
They didn't.
When it's all said and done.
That's not the
It is
point.
a team game, man.
Everything on the line.
This
How'd he do?
drives me crazy.
Everything on the line.
You know what? Hold on, because
Forget it, Carey.
No.
Take your face and bash it
Because
off the wall.
I
It's
will.
probably have more
but here's the
success.
thing. Lamar didn't call one damn play, and if memory serves me correctly, they ran the ball like 6 damn times the entire game. The Ravens did. He didn't say, "Yeah, I'm going to throw it 35 times." They should have ran the damn ball.
So
Maybe
it's
a
somebody
little bit
else's
more.
fault.
Remember we were talking about coaches and their job and what they do, game planning, and in football it's a little different because you got to call a play every single time, usually. Yeah, it matters. He was the best player in the NFL last year, all year long. Patrick Mahomes
Your
was
guy
not.
wasn't even the best player
Patrick
in the league.
Mahomes was the best player during the playoffs. What's that, the Conn Smythe? He's the Conn Smythe.
Yeah, Connor McDavid won
There
that
you
too.
go.
Do you guys know?
As the losing team, he won it.
All right, guys. Scotty Scheffler gets it. He's the only person not a part of the team.
Do you guys know?
And when he didn't have his normal caddy, he wasn't good.
And he even got arrested.
and still won, didn't he? Yeah. All right. Scotty, it is.
It's got to be Mahomes. Do you know why? In all honesty,
Here we go.
Oh, goodness.
because legends never die. You know what I mean? Guys, all right.
I want to vomit.
All right, good. Is Pavel Buchnevich playing center a long-term solution? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN.
If you currently own a home that still has the builder's grade windows, or maybe it's an older home, 10 plus years old, I guarantee that those windows are not as efficient as they used to be. So please call my friends over at Window World, preferred window of the St. Louis Blues. Window World windows are one of the 2 windows with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. Their customer service is absolutely fantastic, and the product speaks for itself. But I'll tell you this, they have a double strength glass that you don't find in normal replacement windows. And what that means is certainly more durable, but the efficiency is better. In those hot summer days, you don't feel that heat leaking into your home, or the cold January morning, you don't feel that cold coming into your house, and you definitely save money at that point, and that's what's really important. And Window World, along with that customer service, they give you a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts of glass breakage and the labor. And right now, they are offering 36 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. And all you got to do is pick up the phone, give them a call, tell them Jamie Rivers from 101 sent you in. That number is 314-993-1800. Again, that's 314-993-1800. Or you can always visit them at windowworldstlouis.com.
It's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Did you just figure out what we're talking about,
I'm
Carey?
so proud of myself.
Nice job, man.
I heard you giggle.
Well, the sheet comes in handy, Jamie.
Yeah, but Anthony sometimes goes wrong.
Sometimes he does.
I'm like the worst driver when it comes to that. There's some drivers that, like, whatever's on the sheet, man, they're going to stick with that sheet, and it doesn't matter where the conversation goes and all that. I am running the no-huddle offense at all times.
Better that way.
It is.
Well,
But when you're on,
it's different. Just different
and I pay
styles.
It
attention,
keeps Carey and I on our toes.
it does. That's why we always say, what's next?
Yeah, we're actually testing Anthony.
That's what it is.
why would you do that? No, I fail all test. Is Pavel Buchnevich playing center a long-term solution? So this was something that was kind of brought up by our guy, Jeremy Rutherford, when it comes to projecting the Blues 2024 and 25 opening night lineup after some of the recent lineup changes. So we know the offseason here has brought in guys like Matthew Joseph and Radek Faksa and, Texier. They sent out Kevin Hayes. So what JR did was kind of a lineup construction based on what we could see on opening nights next season. Projected lines include Jake Neighbors, Robert Thomas, and Jordan Kyrou on the top line. Brandon Saad, Pavel Buchnevich, who we'll get into here, and Braden Shen, on the third line. Toropchenko, Faksa, and then either Texier or Bolduc on the third, and then Joseph, Sundqvist, and Kapanen on the fourth, with your extras being Walker and Dean. So this is why we circle back to the question of Pavel Buchnevich. Is he a center for the future, or do the Blues do what they can for the short term, knowing that eventually they'll kick him back out to one of the wing spots?
Yeah, I don't think he's the long-term solution. One, he's a very good player, and he plays an adequate center ice, but he's a much better winger. Mm-hmm. It's just what he is. He's had his highest point production as a winger. He's most comfortable there. He certainly isn't a face-off guy as a centerman. The face-off's the percentage not great for him. And, but he's good defensively, so you can see how coaches and general managers would look at that and be like, well, he can fill the role in the meantime. But you also look at the point production of Robert Thomas last year, and the highest volume of points came while playing alongside Pavel Buchnevich. And Doug Armstrong always talks about the pairs.
Yeah.
And Jordan Kyrou, he actually started to come on at the end of the season playing alongside Braden Shen and Brandon Saad. Then there was another mix where you put Buchnevich in with Saad as a centerman, and Kyrou kept playing while Shen moved up to that top line with Neighbors and Thomas. There are a lot of options, and the bingo balls were out at the end of the season a little bit just because you had the young guys that you were getting in the lineup too. Bolduc got bumped up in the lineup. Zach Dean was playing. Ultimately, on a contending team, I don't think Pavel Buchnevich is your second-line center. I just don't. And I think that's where the Blues are really looking for a Dalibor Dvorsky to step in. Now, will that be this year? I don't know. It's a lot to expect of a young player to come in and just slot into your second-line center. Like Robert Thomas is a hell of a player, and he was as a 19-year-old, too. I don't know if Dalibor Dvorsky's head and shoulders better than Robert Thomas to come in and play there when Robert Thomas had to come in and learn how to play the wing first at the NHL level. But, I look at this as Braden Shen on the wing. I don't necessarily see him as an automatic on the wing. I think that you could see some fluctuation in that top six to where you're mixing and matching a little bit. And it might come down to who you're playing against, too. If it's a home game, if it's an away game, what's your best defensive matchup? And what gives you the best chance offensively against certain matchups? I just don't see Buch as a long-term solution at the center ice position for the Blues if they're going to be like a contender.
Mm-hmm. If he's not, he's better suited at the wing. You said that, but if he's not as good at center, why play him there as much as they have in the past? And is it just out of need because you got Braden Shen, who obviously can play center? What's the purpose of it instead of having him on the line with Robert Thomas where he can actually do what he does best, which is score goals?
So I don't know this for a fact because I'm not in those meetings, but I'll give you my best guess at this, is that Braden Shen, as you get older, playing the center ice position, the center iceman is truly the only player that truly plays a 200-foot game.
Gotcha.
In the same shift, the center iceman can be down behind his net, playing defense, taking away an opportunity, and he can also end up down behind the opponent's net.
Right.
And he's supposed to be in those areas.
Yeah.
So it's a 200-foot game. It's a demanding spot to be. And with some of the game's most talented players being younger and super fast players, someone like Braden Shen, up and down the wing, big physical guy, get in on the forecheck, do some damage, it makes a lot of sense.
Gotcha.
So Pavel Buchnevich, in the meantime, certainly feels and seems like maybe the best option. And Buch, as much as he's a winger by trade, he's a very good playmaker, too. And most of the good playmakers play the center ice position because now they can move the puck around either left or right. Whereas a winger, if you're on a certain side of the ice, you only have it.
One way.
You can only go one way with the puck.
Right.
Or if you want to get fancy, maybe turn it over. So that's why Buch profiles as a adequate center iceman. Is he's very responsible defensively. He's a big body. He's got a good stick defensively. He moves the puck very well, and he's got pretty good foot speed.
Gotcha.
So he checks a lot of the boxes when it comes to, can we get by with this?
Yeah.
Do you want to go 82 games there? No, I don't think so. I don't think ultimately on a winning team, Pavel Buchnevich is your center iceman for 82 games. But maybe somebody steps up, maybe move it around a little bit. Maybe you start to tweak the lineup as the season goes on. And flat out, maybe somebody just reaches up and grabs that and takes over that center ice spot in the second line, and then Buch can go back to playing with Robert Thomas, which ultimately I think that's the best pair on the team for the forward position.
Earlier today, we asked you your thoughts about Tommy Edman returning in a couple of weeks and how the roster looks beyond that. And not just the roster, but really the lineup, the different defensive combinations, because there will be a domino effect that occurs when Tommy Edman returns. How would you like to see things play out in the outfield, the infield lineup when Edman returns? Leave us a mic drop. We'll play those throughout the course of the show. Would you be interested in trading for Max Scherzer? Is that even a possibility? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN. We're getting a lot of rain here in St. Louis. And as you know, with the storm, sometimes you get hail. How's your roof doing? If you don't know, then call the Happy Roof Company. If you know you have a leak, you know you have damaged, or you know that your neighbors have people coming out to look at their roof and maybe they're getting a new one, and you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of all your opportunities when it comes to getting a new roof, again, call the Happy Roof Company. If you do have an issue, they'll have somebody out there within 24 hours to look at your situation. 314-665-3001 is their phone number. You can also visit them at thehappyroof.com. If you know that your insurance claim that you put in got denied, all your neighbors are getting roofs, though, except for you. Call the Happy Roof. They work well with insurance companies. If you need help with insurance paperwork on your damaged roof, the Happy Roof can help you with that. If you have roof damage and your insurance company already paid you, now you're just looking to have a roofer that's trusted and worthy enough to come out and give you an estimate. The Happy Roof Company, 10-year labor warranty on all shingle roofs, over 50 years combined experience in roofing, siding, and gutters, free estimates with competitive pricing. They are phenomenal. They're the only roofing company, in fact, that we trust in the Stalter household as well. 314-665-3001, thehappyroof.com.
You guys forget that when Tommy Edman played center field last year for the Cardinals, he not only played center field, he played the hell out of center field, which is why they decided to go with him this year as their regular. Michael Siani has done a great job. Tommy Edman plays just as well as Siani, with greater offensive upside, especially from the right side. Let's just see how it all plays out.
Who was that?
Terry.
Oh, that's right.
Hello, Terry.
Put it in reverse, Terry.
Terry, I agree with you. I agree with you that Tommy Edman does give the Cardinals more upside offensively than Michael Siani. There's really no debate there.
From the right side.
Okay. Offensively, he's Tommy Edman's a better player, which I think what Terry was saying. Terry, nobody forgot how well that Tommy Edman played. That's a big assumption on your part. Michael Siani's a better defensive center fielder than Tommy Edman. He just is. So we can agree to disagree, but
maybe
it's
because
just
Tommy Edman is a second baseman. I don't know.
I mean, Tommy Edman played very well in center, which I think that's why Terry used hyperbole when he said, "You guys seem to forget." Nobody forgot. This is what happens when somebody tries to make a point. They go over the top. I use this philosophy all the time. Terry just tried to use it.
Gotcha.
Siani's a hell of a center fielder defensively.
I agree.
He's better than Tommy Edman.
I agree.
From that standpoint, Edman's the better offensive player.
Yeah, and I held on to, for a long time this season, I kept holding on to, well, Tommy Edman's he's a Gold Glove caliber center fielder, until Michael Siani just keeps making play after play after play after play. You've got teammates talking about him. There's audio from Miles Michaelis, too, on Bally Sports talking about just how great it is to have him in center field, especially if you're a pitch-to-contact pitcher, and this guy's covering football fields worth of turf out there to save your bacon. It's not to say that Tommy Edman can't do that. He's not able to do it as well as Michael Siani is. That's all.
I know it's a team game, but what are you telling Michael Siani, who has a chance to probably win a Gold Glove? Hey, by the way, we're going to put you on the bench. Thanks for what you've done. I understand it's a team game. You want to put the best players out there. But also I feel like it could ultimately maybe make some of the corner outfielder guys feel like, oh, that's a ball that Siani can get. He can get that ball, whereas maybe Tommy Edman can't get that ball, and there's just a little bit of confusion in the outfield. Could you see that happening?
I mean, for me, if they put Tommy Edman back there, full time in center field, what they're saying is we don't think the drop off from Siani to Edman defensively is that much, and offensively we are getting a significant upgrade. That's all they're saying. And Siani goes back to the bench. He winds up being maybe a late defensive replacement in one of the corner spots later on. That to me is what they're saying. If they stick with Siani, they're like, no, we're going to win defensively, and maybe they put Tommy Edman back at second.
So, Marshy, with your line of thinking there, all it's going to take, guys, is a close game. Let's say it's a Brewers game, a divisional game, a big game for the Cardinals, and it's a ball that Siani could have gotten to, that he's gotten to almost all year. And Edman can't get there and make the play. Not that he drops the ball. He just can't get there to make the play. And the Cardinals lose an important game. To me, if I'm Oli Marmol, I'm not watching that happen again. I'm not. It's not Tommy Edman's fault. It's not Siani versus Edman. It's Siani just is better. He could get to that ball. He would have saved that game for us. We would have won. We would have won by one run if Siani was in the ball game there.
Yeah.
I think what you're asking, Marshall, is what does it say to the team? I think it's a bad signal to the team. If you have a guy that is on track to potentially win a Gold Glove and does not get the opportunity to stay and play every day, he's earned the right to play every day. But again, I think he's going to be the odd man out. And this is the part about sports that, is unfair. Like, it's not always pretty. It's not always, oh, you work hard, you do everything right, you'll get the – it's not always that way. It just sometimes a guy is making more money. He's had the opportunity. He was there first. He got injured. They signed him to a contract extension before he had surgery, before we knew.
And I think it was before they picked up Siani, too.
Surgery, correct.
Could be wrong,
so, I mean,
Yeah, they got him. They claimed him off waivers from the Reds a year ago.
I think Tommy Edman goes back to center field. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't know. I don't think that's right, and I don't think it's fair. But I think that's what's going to happen. And if you lose a game, like you're saying, Jamie, I think you just say, he'll get it next time, because you cannot at that moment make another rash decision and say, all right, Edman, you're out. Siani, you're back in. If you make the decision that when Tommy Edman comes off the IL, he's now your everyday center fielder, you can't flip-flop and go back and forth. You make a decision, you got to deal with it, good, bad, or indifferent.
So the discussion, a lot of the text line is the drop-off that much? Is it that significant? Because, Edman's way better at the plate. Michael Siani's hitting .233 right now. Tommy Edman hit .248 last year. So, again, let's flip the conversation. Is the drop-off that much? Flip it to the offensive side.
Right. Do you have Edman's WRC plus from a year ago?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm limited in my stats, okay, Anthony?
I just
really
don't
appreciate you calling me the carpet. I just gave you really good numbers.
You did. You gave me batting average, which is solid, man.
Anthony, that's all that
stuff.
matters.
I know. Let me just for my own sake. For my own sake. Let's look at this here.
WRC plus.
2023
Park adjusted,
Tommy Edman had a 92 WRC plus a year ago, so he's 8 percentage points below average. Michael Siani this year. Any guesses on Michael Siani's WRC?
He's
plus?
probably somewhere in the same neighborhood. Maybe not.
88.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
92.
66.
Ooh.
Oof. 66. So for those that are saying, like, hey, Tommy Edman's not, Tommy Edman's a pretty good center fielder, and you're going to get the bump offensively, I get their point.
What was his WRC plus when in center field, though? Because half of that year he was playing second base.
That's a good point.
I don't know what that breakdown is.
Not even second, he's playing shortstop.
If you give me a month, I'll get back to you on that. I'll figure that out. I'll break it all down. Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Like what the texters are saying. I think that's a relevant point. That's why I think this is a fascinating conversation, which is why, Jamie, I keep coming back to how do you want to win?
Yeah, but Tommy Edman also hasn't played in almost a year. Like this is an important stretch of baseball for the Cardinals. I understand he's going to do his rehab assignment. Great. Does that make him ready to be exactly what he was before he was injured?
That's a great point.
Now he's been gone for so long. I think Tommy Edman has to come back as a platoon, bench off the bat, like work his way into it. And then if he gets up to speed and all this, now the tough decision has to happen. Mm-hmm. But until the point where you've seen him at the major league level for a couple of weeks, just like getting back into where he needs to be, I just don't think you'd rip a guy out of the lineup for that.
Yeah. Listen, I agree. I would put Siani in center. I would move Edman back to second, where he's won a Gold Glove before, and I would leave Burleson at DH and mix in Gorman and Newt and Donovan and whatever.
I was all for that earlier this year. Before, and Gorman is who he is. He's going to hit home runs. Mm-hmm. He's going to strike out, and you're going to deal with it. Like, that's just the bottom line. It is what it is. But they love Nootbaar. Nootbaar came from injury, and where did he go?
Right back in the lineup.
Back to where he was.
Yeah.
So what makes you think that they won't do the same thing for Tommy Edman? Burleson was playing really well in right field. There was no need to put Nootbaar right back in right field. Nope, you're healthy. You're going back to your spot. That's where you are. Burley, you go to the DH spot. And so if Tommy Edman comes off the IL, when he comes off, why do we not assume that they're going to do the same thing for him?
We're not. No,
I'm just saying they should.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they will or they won't, because they probably will. I'm just saying if I'm the manager at that point and I've got guys that have played exceptional baseball for me, especially defensively, and we're in a playoff spot and we started off as poorly as we did, I'm probably going to make sure I continue to reward those guys so that other guys in my clubhouse know that if they play good and they play hard and they're effective for my team, they'll play too. That it's not just like, I'll just give up because, well, so-and-so's back, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's fair, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Life's not fair,
Life
Carey.
is not fair.
You already know that.
Learned that early on.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 311. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. So we never got into the Max Scherzer conversation. So let's have it next here on 101 ESPN.
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet has been in business for over 80 years, and while the vehicles have changed, their commitment to service has remained the exact same. Whether you visit the dealership in person or online, you can get there at londoff.com. At Johnny Londoff Chevrolet, they want to treat you like family. The Londoff family wants to make buying a vehicle fun. How many times you go buy a vehicle in the past and it's stressful, and maybe the salesperson is quick and you're unsure of things? Not at Londoff Chevrolet. They're there to help you out, want to make sure that you find the ride that you love, and then they're going to explain everything to you that needs to be explained so that you're comfortable with the entire process. And then they've got great prices. Here's just a couple. 2024 Equinox RS. Suggested retail price, $38,715. At Londoff, you only pay $33,500. That's over $5,000 in savings. And we talked about the Chevy Silverado Trail Boss, the exact truck I'm driving around right now. Suggested retail price, $57,955. At Londoff Chevrolet, it's only $45,455. Savings of over $12,000. And let's not forget, you receive an extra $250 off your purchase of any new or pre-owned vehicle, or receive a free Londoff care package. All you have to do is stop by either location, the original location in Florissant, Missouri, or the brand new Londoff Autoplex out there in St. Peters. Walk in, tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. They love hearing that. And if you can't get there in person, again, visit them online at londoff.com or londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
Damn Skippy, Anthony. Damn Skippy, I'd trade for Max Scherzer in a minute.
There you go, Janet, leaving us another mic drop. Damn Skippy, she traded for Max Scherzer. Hometown products. Mizzou made.
There it is.
Doesn't want to be here, Anthony.
I'm assuming he does.
He wanted to be here a long time ago. We missed the opportunity.
That was a while ago.
I think he'd come back here.
Things change, Mox. You're the starting quarterback.
I think
now.
he'd come back here.
I would think so. Yeah. End of his career.
Team's
opportunity
playing,
to pitch for the home team. Yeah.
Team's playing relatively well. Playoff team.
Sure. You know, if anybody said, well, they passed on him, he's ticked off, this, that, and the other thing, he won't come back. I heard the same thing about Lance Lynn.
I was just about to say that Lance Lynn was even more ticked off.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, Lance Lynn just got destroyed in a Cardinals uniform last Saturday. So, again, things change. Max Scherzer.
You picked that one.
2.70. This is the last one. It was the last start you made.
Not where I went.
I don't blame him for going there.
What about the good stuff?
I mean, come on, that was nasty. And not fast lane nasty. That was just nasty overall. Scherzer in 16 2/3 innings. He's got a 2.70 ERA. He strikeout rate's way low. But, I mean, you know what you're getting. You're getting somebody that's going to compete. You're getting somebody that if the Cardinals do get to the postseason and there's a postseason spot for him, he's certainly going to give it his all.
If you trade for Max Scherzer, he better be in the postseason schedule.
You would think so.
Like, come on. Who's ahead of him?
Who's out?
Lance Lynn. Sorry, you guys asked me two very different questions. Very different questions.
Who's ahead of him?
And then you asked me who's out.
I said,
who's in? Who's out?
Yep.
And Anthony was like, nah.
It's like Lance Lynn to you, Carey.
Yeah.
To you, Jamie. Not just Sonny Gray.
Okay.
Kyle Gibson.
No, what would you order? It would be, who would your game one starter be? Sonny Gray?
Yes.
And game two has to be Scherzer.
I don't know. It depends on how they're pitching.
Really?
Who steps in there? Michaelis?
What if Kyle Gibson? What if Kyle Gibson gets to
If you trade for Max Scherzer, he better damn well be your game one or game two starter.
But you're not getting Max. I don't know if you're going to get Max Scherzer of what he has been over the years.
Oh yeah, he's not an ace anymore. So I'm putting him at the number 2 slot. Okay, I think that's more than fair.
I'm fine with that.
But otherwise, why would you trade for him?
Because you need pitching.
I get you.
He's 39 years old. We don't. I know age is nothing but a number.
Oh, it's perfect for this lineup.
Wow.
What?
You're probably not wrong.
No, he's doing it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. He did just do that. I heard it.
Would you guys rather have, since we're talking about the Rangers, would you rather have Max Scherzer or Nathan Eovaldi?
Well, are we renting or are we trying to keep the parade going for a little bit?
So let me check out Eovaldi's contract.
And what is Scherzer? This is not the last year of his deal.
No, but the Mets, I think, are paying the most of it here.
Mets are paying $21 million, I think, of his contract.
Mm-hmm.
What does that leave you though for the Cardinals? Still at $19 million? I think you get $40 million a year.
Let me see here. Dan Buffa had the details on this. John Mozeliak could go out and get Max Scherzer. Mets already paying $21 million, and he's pitching into the seventh. 3 starts in. Cardinals have 5 starters, but I don't know. I don't know what the contract situation would be. But Nathan Eovaldi, by the way, since I brought him up, he's got a vesting option for next season, so he would be here next year. Wouldn't become a free agent until 2026. So that would be for Eovaldi.
What's he on the books for?
$20 million next year.
It's not terrible.
Not for a starting pitcher.
It's not terrible.
And for somebody like Eovaldi, who's pretty good.
Would he slot in as your number 2?
Yes.
Okay. I'm here for it. I don't care.
I think Max is a free agent after this year.
Is he really?
Yeah.
So
he'd be a rental. So a rental, you're not giving him much, and it's Scherzer.
And what does he make this year?
12.5. If that's what the Rangers are paying him.
Yeah, because in 21 to the Mets.
Mets are paying
and you'll
the rest.
pay a prorated version of that 12.5.
Yep, it's nothing. I mean, cost wise, it's nothing, and you're not talking about making a deal for a rental and giving up something significant. You'd have to give up a little bit more for Eovaldi. By the way, Eovaldi, he's got a 3.10 ERA in 87 innings of work. And he's been consistent, too. 3.63, 3.87, 3.75. He has been sub 4.
Give me either one of them.
Okay.
I'm fine.
All right.
It's going to cost you more to get Eovaldi.
Correct.
So maybe you settle for Scherzer. And it sounds crazy you settle for Scherzer.
Sure. Yeah, I know what you're saying, though.
But get either one.
Yeah.
I don't care. Go get something.
If it comes down to, like, a right-handed bat or a pitcher.
Yeah.
But you can only have one.
Give me the pitcher.
Me too.
Give me the pitcher.
Evaldi in the postseason, pretty damn good. 9-3 in 10 series.
Yep.
Has won the World Series.
Outstanding with the Red Sox.
I mean, so is
very good with the Yankees. Outstanding last year, obviously with the Rangers.
Is he your ace?
Go get him.
No, I would slot him behind Sonny Gray.
Okay.
Unless Sonny Gray, we see more of the version that we just saw to Sonny Gray, but I don't think we will.
But at least now you would have a 1-2 punch. And then Kyle Gibson has been, for me, the eye test in the way he handles himself, his body language, and the way he performs.
He's been great.
He's been better than what I thought he could be this year.
Yeah.
Miles Michaelis is a little bit all over the map. It seems like he has a great game, then a blow up, then a great game, then a good game, then a blow up. Like he's very inconsistent.
Well, also, I think when we think about the postseason, we want to zone in on who's going to be our 1, 2, 3. What if this comes down to you need to win in one of the final games of the year to make the playoffs?
Yeah,
There's a
right.
possibility that Sonny Gray would not even be available for games 1 or 2.
Yeah, great point.
And at that point,
Then you better have a good
you
number
might be
2.
screwed. Exactly.
Yes. It's always important to have a good number 2.
It really is.
It does help.
All right, so we're acquiring Max Scherzer and Nathan Eovaldi. Is that what we're saying?
And Garrett Crochet.
And Garrett Crochet.
New team.
We're going to completely revamp this pitching staff, which has been actually pretty
We
good
have more
this year.
pitchers than players then.
Yeah, that's all right.
Like,
We'll
what's
figure it
going to be
out.
asked to
I
get
don't think they're going to do
Crochet?
that.
No?
Probably not.
No.
You can pick one of the 3.
I actually wouldn't hate the idea of ponying up, going to get Garrett Crochet, and then a minimal amount that would be due to the Rangers to bring in Scherzer.
Okay.
I think you could do it. Like if Mo wanted to.
So now you're getting 2 pitchers off
hell yeah.
out of the rotation. Who are the 2 in your?
Take your pick. Palante and Lance Lynn, as of right now, be the 2 guys that come out. It's not even a difficult
Lance
decision.
Lynn ain't going nowhere.
Well, he'd be going right to my bench. Sorry.
No.
What? You agree with me?
Of course I do. Yeah.
We got a
I'm
question.
sitting here silent. Got nothing to say.
We got a question from the 314. Why would Texas give up Evaldi, one of their best? Texas is not out of the race. They're 7 games back of the wild card.
It's pretty bad.
They're done.
Yeah.
I threw this in our group chat. How did Texas go from winning the World Series to being, well, they'll probably be a seller at the deadline? Like, how did that come to be?
So you had guys that, certainly when you look at like their offense has not been as good as it was a year ago. It is, and at times it's been shockingly bad. And you had guys like Marcus Semien, who was good early on, who has struggled of late. Corey Seager's still doing very well. They lost their third baseman. I forget the name. Josh Smith is over there now. But who was their third baseman a year ago, Marsh? I forget his name.
Their third baseman?
Yeah. He's been out. He's been hurt.
Oh, jeez.
Josh Young. That's
Yes.
who it was. So you look at their offense this season. They're missing one of their best hitters. Corey Seager has still been very good, but Marcus Semien has tailed off. Adolis Garcia has tailed off big time. Tavares hasn't been as good. Some of their young guys haven't stepped up. Carter and Duran, Jankowski, they have struggled. Josh Smith, ironically, stepped right in for Josh Young. He's actually one of their better hitters, but their offense has tailed off big time. And I don't even think their pitching was that great a year ago. It just started to it started to perform very well in the postseason. Mm-hmm. And of course, when you got Bruce Bochy, just the magic man there on the bench when it comes to making any sort of postseason decisions.
Well, he must be a bad manager.
Oh, don't stop.
Look where he's got this team.
Stop it. I'm not going to sit here and have you say anything tongue-in-cheek or make some sort of bigger point using Bruce Bochy as a bad manager.
I'm not using it. I'm using some of the rationale of our text line.
I know what you're doing. That's why I said you're making a bigger point right now.
Yeah.
But I still can't see through.
And I don't want your
what
tongue
you're
anywhere
doing
near my cheek.
I'm not saying my tongue. I'm saying your tongue.
No, stay away.
Let's play Are You Sold next on 101 ESPN. Send in your Are You Sold 314-399-9646. I had chicken for lunch. Are You Sold next?
Hey, it's Carey, and let me tell you about my good friends over at Scrap Mart Metals. They are tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. If you're a contractor, you own a business that needs recycling, you need to learn more about Scrap Mart Metals. They understand that job site cleanup for contractors can and will be a mess. If you set up a business account with Scrap Mart, it's one less thing you have to do during cleanup. They will recycle that metal. If you have equipment that breaks down often, sometimes you got to repair it over and over again. Eventually, it'll break down for good, and you're going to have to get rid of it. Scrap Mart will come and get it out of your way. They'll haul your equipment to one of their locations and get you a check the same day. Or if you want to haul it yourself, they have 3 convenient locations: Valley Park, Peevely, Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it. It's recycling made easy. They offer convenient drive on scale, and they pay the highest payout. They will always get top dollar for your scrap metals at Scrap Mart Metals. Just visit them at scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account to get you rolling. That's copper wire, brass, stainless steel, aluminum, batteries, electric motors, steel, cast iron, and so much more. Just go to scrapmartmetals.com. That's scrapmartmetals.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Today's game has been postponed. The Cardinals will take on the Kansas City Royals twice tomorrow. It will be made up as part of a split doubleheader. 12:45 start time, and then Game 2 will begin as scheduled at 6:45. We'll continue talking about the Cardinals throughout the remainder of the show. We're going to get into Are You Sold? So if you have an Are You Sold statement you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Are You Sold is coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's Fastline on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with your text line. Are you sold? Options.
From the 573, are you sold? Nolan Arenado does not turn if he does not turn his career around, he will not make the Hall of Fame.
Turn his career like this year?
What if the rest of his career looks like this year?
I mean, he won 10 gold gloves in a row.
I know.
I got to count for something.
Was it 10 or was it 9?
It was 10.
10.
Yeah.
2013 to 2022, 10. 6-time Platinum Glove Award winner, 5-time Silver Slugger, 3-time NL Home Run leader, 2-time
But
NL
how many championships has he
RBI
won?
leader. 0.0.
Third place in MVP voting.
But you guys told me that's not important earlier, so.
Championships?
Yeah.
It's a team thing, Anthony. That's all I'm trying to let you know. You know, unless
you're like, finishing in last place, no problem. But you'd still be a great, great winner. No, doesn't work that way, Carey.
You can be great and not win a championship.
Like me saying, you know what, that one guy in the Cleveland Browns played well that year. How does that make you feel?
I probably think that would be a lie.
Anthony, the way you're describing it makes it sound like Joe Flacco is better than Dan Marino.
I mean, he essentially said that.
That was your point earlier.
Or
He
Trent
essentially
Dilfer.
said that.
That's what your point was earlier.
No, that was yours, literally yours. If you win a championship, you're great. That's what you said.
Are
You're
you
the greatest
comparing
of all
Trent
time.
Dilfer for Patrick?
You're the greatest of all time.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Are
you
you
win a
comparing
championship.
Trent Dilfer to Patrick Mahomes?
Don't they both have Super Bowls?
Yeah, Mahomes has Mahomes' green jacket is different than Trent Dilfer's.
Green jacket.
Yeah.
Surely it is.
Gold.
I bet it. No, let's stick with green, Anthony.
He won the Masters. He did.
Look out, Scotty Scheffler.
You know
Here
what
comes
he
Patrick
could?
Mahomes.
He's not the best. He's not the best. That's how good Mahomes is. Can win the Masters.
I was like,
His Super Bowl trophies
like a green jacket,
look
huh?
a lot different than Trent Dilfer's trophy.
Actually,
Anthony, that was the match, not the Masters.
That's right.
That
Thank
you
you.
may have watched. The match.
Yeah.
Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives it? All right, sorry, go ahead.
From the
Did we
618.
answer that?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Okay, ask again. What was it?
I don't know. Will Nolan Arenado be a Hall of Famer if he continues to bat the way he has?
I don't know how to answer that. I think
say
he's
yes.
I think he's Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I think he still will be.
From the 618, are you sold that Nolan Gorman's highs are enough to look past his slumps?
That's who. Yes, because that's who Nolan Gorman is.
It's okay for you. I don't like it.
Carey hates it, and there's going to be a lot of people
I hate it.
who love batting average more than their own kids. And
It's aggressive.
I needed to be.
He went way out there.
Did he ever?
I needed to be.
Okay, sorry.
Some people love batting average more than their own kids. Those people will want Nolan Gorman out of baseball. But for me, I know what Nolan Gorman is. One, he's a human being, and he has feelings. Two, he hits a lot of ding-dong Johnsons, and he's going to strike out a lot, and he's not going to have a high batting average. That's who he is. And he may run into one and hit one 6,000 feet to win you a game.
Or
strike out.
at the most inopportune time.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. As long as
But
we're
so
all on
can
the same
anybody.
page.
It's true. It's
Right?
a possibility. Just some more than others.
I've seen Nolan Arenado swing at one 12 feet out of the zone.
Yeah, I saw
in
that
a key spot.
He couldn't hit it with a boat paddle.
No. If he somehow figured out how to use a telephone pole,
Nolan
still
Gorman
wouldn't
is
hit it.
second in the majors in strikeouts.
Top 5. Look at that.
That's not. No.
How many ding dongs does he have?
He's got
How many times has he touched seats this year, Carey?
17.
Okay.
The first is Ellie De La Cruz. He's got 15 home runs.
And he's got the
Who would
most
you-
strikeouts.
Who would I
Ellie De La
rather
Cruz
have?
does have
I would
He's
have.
an all-star.
He is.
I would have.
Who would you rather
there
have?
You go. Oh, Ella De La Cruz plays a premium position, steals bases.
Steals a lot of bases.
Yeah, he
40,
does.
45 of those.
Yeah, we're talking about a way different player.
Yeah. So you can afford to strike out if you get on base and steal them when you get on.
If you're Ella De La Cruz, yeah, you can strike out as much as you want and do the other things.
All right.
I'm just saying this is how Gorman is. You're never gonna like it.
That's why it's not appealing to me.
I understand.
Because if the guy that strikes out more in Ellie De La Cruz has more stolen bases, higher OPS, higher slug, higher on-base percentage, like everything is higher, and higher batting average, I should be okay with striking out that many times and not getting that type of production when I do get on.
If he hits 30-something odd home runs,
Well,
yeah.
Ellie De La Cruz is going to hit 30-something as well.
Okay,
If
but
you're
we're
comparing him to Ellie De La Cruz,
right.
you've proven my point.
I'm just giving you the strikeout numbers.
No,
I understand that.
If you're talking
If you're
about
telling me
those
I'm
two
go-
players in
Yeah.
the same breath, then I love Gorman. He's talking about saying like they're identical.
No,
okay,
they're not.
that's what he's saying. He's
They're
comparing
not.
them. Is he
I
not?
don't think he heard me.
He's comparing him to Ellie De La Cruz.
I get it. He's got him in the same conversation,
That's right.
same
Oh,
sentence.
my God.
Yep.
Good call, Carey.
Okay.
From the 636. All right. Are you sold that Dalibor Dvorsky will not be the Blues version of Jordan Walker?
That he will not be? Am I sold that he will not be?
So in other words, will he
be good? Yeah. No. That's what he's saying, right?
Will he be?
Yeah. First
will
of all,
he be Jordan Walker?
First of all, I think Jordan Walker is still just 22 years old. He's a baby when it comes to playing Major League Baseball. So, as much as I am not a big fan of what he's done so far, I'm still a realist in the fact that he could turn it around quickly as a young man and be a dominant player. So I'm not going to write off Jordan Walker from being a good player. Would I use him as a trade chip to find myself an ace? Yes, I would. But I'm not going to write him off. So the question about Dalibor Dvorsky, not being Jordan Walker, I'm not sold on either guy right now not being good at their positions. Dalibor Dvorsky might come in and be a first or second line center for the Blues for 10 years. But Jordan Walker could come in next year and be a dominant outfielder for the next decade as well for the Cardinals. So I'm not ready to judge that one yet.
From the 314, are you sold that Mason Wynn is Rookie of the Year?
No.
No,
There's a
unfortunately.
guy in Pittsburgh.
It's a guy with a dusty stash that's doing pretty good. He's in the Cy Young
115
discussion.
miles per hour.
Yeah. Sorry.
Is it because he's too young?
No.
No,
It's just he's not
Another
Paul
guy
Skeens.
is.
Paul Skeens is just too dominant.
He may not even be Jackson Merrill, unfortunately. At least from an offensive standpoint.
Who do you think's better, Paul Skeens or the Rookie of the Year for the Cubs back in the 90s? I think his name was Henry.
Rowan Gardner.
Henry
Rowenbagger, yeah.
I use a flash in the pan, but
Yeah, that's the problem. I think Skeens is going to be durable.
But we're talking about
If we're
for
just
one
talking
year.
about for 1 year,
A rookie year.
Rowan Gardner brought a lot of things to the table that people don't talk about. His on-base prowess, the fact that he kind of galvanized the team.
And until Skeens
Brought his
throws
mom into the
one
picture.
from
That's the big thing right
outfield.
there.
Yeah.
Made it one big happy family, Carey.
Yeah,
That's what they did.
I don't know.
I don't know what
That'd be
I don't
normal,
think
right? Have your mom
Skeens
date
did.
one of your teammates?
No, that'd be
fun, wouldn't it, Carey?
almost it.
That'd be great.
Not just anybody. The Rocket.
Yeah.
Chet Stedman. He brought the hot, stinky cheddar.
He did.
I bet he did.
I mean, he elevated a really bad team. I know the Pirates aren't great, but I still think the Pirates team now is better than the Cubs, that Cubs team. I don't think there's any question.
What's more awkward, your teammate dating your mom or one of your players dating your mom, like what happened with Billy Haywood, manager for the Minnesota Twins back in the 90s?
I think being a teammate, because if you're managing, you're not always in the clubhouse or the locker room with your teammates, and you don't hear anything that's being discussed. But when you're a teammate and you're sitting across the room or beside or down the way,
For sure.
and your teammate's describing, I don't know, a great night of dancing with your mom,
Yeah.
you probably don't want to hear that.
Very true. So getting back to it, I think Henry Rowan Gardner,
Yeah.
better season for the Cubs that year than Skeens this year.
For sure.
The Pirates. Now, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I do know that he struck out Bonds and Griffey.
He sure did.
And he struck out somebody else, too. Maybe it was...
Hato. I believe that was his name, the guy for the Mets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Struck
the big
him out
guy.
with the softball pitch.
Yeah,
The floater.
And that guy was a monster that year.
He was.
Yeah. So yeah, it's got to be Rowan Bagger.
Yeah.
All right, that was Are You Sold here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Are you sold? Speaking of which, that the Cardinals can have sustained success with their accent pieces stepping up. Talk about it next year on 101 ESPN.
Introducing Good Gravy, Holiday World's new family coaster. Got tickets now at holidayworld.com.
Selling your home is a stressful experience at times, and right now with the market being as crazy as it is, and interest rates and all sorts of complicated things, you certainly don't want to trust the sale of your home with just an average agent. No, you want to go with the best, and that's Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria has been in the business for a really long time, and she's very aware of the market trends and where your house should be priced. In fact, she will sit down with you, the seller, and agree upon a sales price, and she'll sell your home for that exact price, or she'll buy it herself, and she guarantees all of that in handwriting. And the reason she guarantees it in handwriting is because she knows she's going to drive traffic to your listing. She's got thousands of people in her database that are looking for homes, and when you get that many people looking at your property, hey, it's possible that you create that multiple offer effect, and that means more money for you, and Gloria Liu will get you to the closing table. She always does. So please, if you're selling your home, call Gloria Liu. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number is 314-325-6888. Again, the 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Remember, conditions do apply. Gloria and the seller must agree not only on the sales price, but also the possession date.
This summer, it isn't safe to go back to the dealership.
Down payments, they're too high.
You're going to need a bigger wallet.
Not at Missouri's #1 Mitsubishi dealer, Frank Lita Mitsubishi. Every vehicle is just $29 down, $29.
What about financing?
All you need is a job and $29 at Frank Lita Mitsubishi in the Automotive Outlet.
You get a lifetime warranty, lifetime, no charge.
And 0% financing, 0%.
Plus pre-owned, as far as the eye can see.
All just $29 down, $29.
It's a summer sales event. You could save thousands.
At Missouri's #1 Mitsubishi dealer, Frank Lita Mitsubishi.
In the Automotive Outlet in Bridgeton.
YesLita.com.
YesLita.com.
New 24 Outlander, 39.1, 29 down, $547 a month for 72 months at 6% APR. Plus tax tag title to qualified buyers. #1 based on National Mitsubishi report as of 4/1/24.
You're in the fast lane on 101 ESPN, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Are you sold that the Cardinals can have sustained success with their accent pieces stepping up? So what this means is Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado, obviously they're not. They're supposed to be core pieces. They're having years that are below their norm. Mm-hmm. So now you've got Alec Burleson stepping up. You've got Brendan Donovan and Mason Wynn. These are guys that, yes, are part of the kind of the long-term future of the team, but ones that we didn't expect coming into the year were going to be carrying you at this point. So are you sold that the Cardinals can still sustain this without Goldie and Arenado being at least average when it comes to their career numbers?
Well, they're what? How many games in now?
Really going to make me do math?
Well, they're like 90 games in.
Sure.
Ish, somewhere in there, I think.
I can't believe you do that.
Well, I didn't want to really ruin your day, Anthony, but they're 90 games in, okay? It's a pretty big sample size as to what your team can be without any production from your first and third baseman.
Yeah.
And I say any production, I'm not actually being snarky. It's like there has been some, but not to the level that you need it to be from those two individuals specifically. And so can you sustain it? I think you can battle away and make a playoff spot. Can you win a playoff round? Can you win the division without those two, or at least one of them? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think you get in, and then after that, I don't know if you're deep enough to compete against some of the other teams, let alone win the division. So I think you're fine. Ultimately, it'd be great to have both going, but I would take even one of them to go back to what it used to look like. That at least you get one more power bat from the right side. But right now, they're not doing that. So that's what I think.
I don't think it's sustainable. I think you have to have those two players playing at their highest level, and maybe not 2022 MVP caliber years, but your best players have to be your best players, and right now they are not the best players. Like if there was a team MVP, Nolan Arenado or Paul Goldschmidt probably wouldn't finish top three.
Yeah, they're not even in the photo.
On their own team.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you all did this, but every year we would have a team MVP as well. You usually do have team MVPs. It's probably Mason Wynn, Sonny Gray, and Alec Burleson, or hell, maybe even Siani is up there. If there's a team MVP, Ryan Helsley is probably number one. So they might not even be top 5 on their own team, which to me means that. No, you can't. You can't cut him. You can't just let him go for nothing.
I don't hate
the
idea.
Yeah, it's not going to work that way.
I know.
All right. So I think
$6 million worth of contract there.
It's a lot of money, actually. Yeah. Let me think about it. But you can't. I don't think you can win a playoff. I don't think you're going to win a playoff series without those guys. And truthfully. It might not, depending on if other teams. I don't know how the NL side of things is going to all play out. It's really bad. So maybe you can find a way to make it there and stay in that second wild card. I don't know if you're going to become the first, but you're probably not going to have a lot of success in the playoffs if those two do not perform at a high level.
What if somebody else steps up and you can move Goldschmidt out of the? Well, I'm playing this out in my head here, right? Because Contreras coming back has made a huge difference. Like what we're really talking, we're not talking about Goldschmidt and Arenado specifically. We're talking about what they have brought to the table in the past in the middle of your order. So if you have somebody else, like one more player step up, that's not one of those guys that hits fourth for you.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen.
That big of a?
It's not going to happen because so far,
then no, it's not sustainable.
So far, Oli Marmol has proven nothing except for he's going to leave Paul Goldschmidt in the 3 or the 4 hole, no matter what.
Then fire him.
And the lowest Arenado's going to bat is probably 6th.
And that was only for like a few games.
Just
he's
saying.
Back at 5.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to leave those 2 in there, no matter who steps up, Anthony.
4 and 5.
4 and 5, or 3 and 4, or wherever.
Then Mason Wynn better keep doing what he's doing, and Alec Burleson better keep doing what he's doing, and Ross Contreras better keep doing what they're doing.
I agree.
There's no rest for the wicked then.
Even with that, I don't know, come playoff time, if that's enough. Like, if you got 2 guys batting 3 and 4, and Nolan Arenado had a really good series against the Nationals, but he's still not hitting for power. Paul Goldschmidt hit a home run. You were able to capitalize off that. Congratulations, Jeremy. But that was you. You picked him, right? Who? Oh, no, that was you that picked him. Sorry. My apologies.
Was that
That's okay.
Goldie?
Yeah.
That was Anthony's guy.
I thought it was you.
No.
I got 7.
I wish it was you.
I got 7 now.
I do.
Why? That was
just
You're
conceding
getting
that.
further away.
So what are you then?
He's already out of reach.
We already can't see him. Well, I thought you would root for me to get back into the race.
I don't know if we
Clearly
made
not.
things clear or established the thought process around here. I want to win.
All right.
Okay.
Fair enough. John says, Anthony, what has Goldschmidt and Arenado ever done for the Cardinals in the playoffs? You're kind of proving my point here.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody else were to step up to hit in the middle of the order, it doesn't matter if their names are Nolan Arenado or Paul Goldschmidt.
The problem is
So, John, that's my
going to
point.
put him there.
The problem, Anthony,
Congratulations, we think alike.
And you
now
know
you're a
this.
psychopath.
is they're not going to move those guys. They're not going to bump them down and they're not going to bench them. That's
Right.
for sure. So
Then you're screwed.
It doesn't matter who steps up. They're still going to bat behind Goldie and Arenado.
Then you're screwed.
could you
Yes, my
imagine
opinion, you're done.
Going to the ballpark and seeing Arenado and Goldie at 6 and 7. What?
It's fine with
Not
me.
happening.
I mean, you
Right now,
should,
it's
but
fine
you're
with
not.
me.
Yeah,
No.
you're right. To Jamie's point, you're right. And to your point, yeah, you're right. You're not.
Yeah. So you get what you get.
But
you
you
don't have a fit.
need production. That's what we're talking about. I don't care what the names are. You need production in the middle of your lineup. So, yes, you're right. Because that name is Goldschmidt and because that name is Arenado, you're probably not going to move those guys out, and you're going to go down with the ship.
And it's not, I mean, I think Arenado is batting like 260, something like that. It's not terrible. He's just not hitting for power. And
Arenado's fine in the 6th spot. I got no problem.
Yeah.
You're right, because then people start bringing, well, have you seen this? He's actually not that bad. That's it. Yeah, for a 6-hitter, you ain't paying him to be a 6-hitter.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
So anybody that's like, well, have you seen the numbers?
266.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine hitting 6. You're talking about a cleanup hitter or somebody that's going to hit 3rd for you.
Yeah.
And I know, Carey, sometimes you bring up like, move him to 2nd. Hell no. No, I don't want to give. I don't want to give him
to 2nd.
I wouldn't give him more at bats.
He's hitting he's fine.
That 2 spot.
fine.
I read you. Don't you dare make me
what's his
read off the other
WRC
2
plus,
hole hitters.
Anthony?
He's fine.
You know what it is. Right around average. 99 or so.
it's
That's
better than that.
fine.
Right.
Put him in the 2-hole.
2 power on base combination. When Goldie won the MVP, perfect 2-hole hitter. But you can't.
Arenado is at 100.
Okay, so he's exactly average. What's the Ding Dong Johnsons?
You got 7. We're not. Hey,
What's his
if you-
OBP?
Well, let me see.
Because that'll prove the point.
He's
Because if he's getting on base at a good clip,
318.
6 it is.
Thank you. We need a new Gauntlet contestant, so if you want to play the Gauntlet, text in 314-399-9646. That's the Air Comfort Service text line. Gauntlet next.
We try.
Anheuser-Busch Stella Artois are partnering with Hot Ones to bring hot wings and hot trivia questions to St. Louis. Sign up now and compete in the next Hot Ones event, which will be held at Hot Shots in Wentzville this Thursday, July 11th from 6 to 8 p.m. Your host this time around will be Scott Rizzuto from The Rizzuto Show. You'll be doing Hot Ones trivia for your chance at an awesome staycation to be given to the winner of the grand finale, which will be held on August 8th. And you just sign up to compete. It's really easy to sign up. You visit any Cybergs or Hot Shots locations. They've got little cards on the tables. On those cards are a little QR code. Just take your phone, scan that, sign up, be a part of it, have a great time. Or you don't have to compete at all. Just show up and be a part of it. Come out and support all the other contestants and watch the festivities and watch how funny it gets as they continue to eat hot wings. It gets hotter. And then, of course, there's free Stella samplings going around as well to wash all that down with. It's a really awesome time. Again, this Thursday, July 11th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Hot Shots in Wentzville. Scott Rizzuto will be there for the Stella Artois and Hot Ones Trivia Challenge.
Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. They have their hail sale. It's been extended for a limited time, so you can enjoy massive price discounts with no payments for 3 months and no down payment available on select new and used inventory. And it all goes right now throughout the month of July at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. All current Nissan specials and incentives are eligible for any hail-affected new Nissan. You could stack up the discounts and save thousands in the process. With over 700 vehicles all in one location, you're bound to find the perfect car that fits your needs and your budget. So you're looking at cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, Rogues, Pathfinders. They got them all at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. And with their hail sale going on, that extension, you're going to love all the discounts on top of it. As always, 30-day new car return promise, complimentary lifetime warranty on new Nissans and eligible used vehicles, complimentary 1-year maintenance on new Nissan purchases. Tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum.
Where St. Louis gets its sports. WXOS, WXOS HD1 East St. Louis, 101 ESPN. Four warriors, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
4 o'clock, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in Gary to the Gauntlet. What's up, Gary?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Appreciate you joining us. Thanks for listening. Is this your first time?
First time with the Gauntlet. I made it to the final Hall of Fame round against Randy and botched the Albert Pujols question, so it's been a while since I've been on.
Did you take some time off?
No, I just haven't been successful at getting through with you.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you got through. All of us are now.
Yeah, me too.
All of us are now a little nervous after you said you went to the Hall of Fame there with the one and only Randy Carricker.
Oh,
but you know what? We don't back down from any challenge, right, boys?
Nope. Ready. Let's go.
Okay. All right.
Bring on Randy.
Okay. Gary, who would you like to face today? Jamie, Carey, Marsh, or me?
I'm going to go with you.
Antoine.
Yeah. Whoa. All right, Gary, good luck.
All right, Anthony is unplugging his ears, grabbing his water. He's headed off to the cone of silence. As he's on his way there, Gary, I need you to tell Marshy to spin that wheel.
Marshy, spin that wheel.
All right, so if you had a preference of category, what would it be, Gary?
Probably baseball.
Okay. Well, I got bad news. It's not baseball, but you got football. So hopefully you're good at football as well.
All righty.
All right, so Marshy's getting up the questions here for us. Just a reminder, Gary, each question is worth 2 points if you answer correctly without using the options. If you use the options, answer correctly, only worth 1 point. And of course, a wrong answer is worth 0. If we're tied after 4 questions, we'll go to a tiebreaker and we will get a winner here today in the Gauntlet. Gary, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy, here we go. Again, category is football. Question number 1. Patrick Mahomes' new backup in Kansas City, Carson Wentz, was selected number 2 overall in the 2016 NFL Draft. Where did Wentz play his college football?
I'll have to take the options there.
Okay. Was it Cal, North Dakota State, or Virginia Tech?
North Dakota State.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Question number 2. Only 2 wide receivers were targeted 170 times or more in each of the past 2 seasons. Tyreek Hill and who else?
I'll take the options.
Is it Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, or Amon-Ra St. Brown?
I'll say Devontae Adams.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
Question number 3, Gary. On January 1st, Bo Nix's dominant performance in Oregon's Fiesta Bowl beatdown of Liberty allowed him to break whose NCAA single-season record for highest completion percentage?
Oof.
This isn't my strong point. I'll take the options again.
Options are Mac Jones, Case Keenum, or Marcus Mariota.
Who was the first one?
Mac Jones was the first one.
I'll take Mac Jones.
Final answer?
Yep.
All right, Gary, last question. Question number 4. Joe Paterno is college football's winningest coach of all time. But who comes in second on this list with 346 victories?
I'll take the options again.
Is it Bobby Bowden, Bo Schembechler, or Bear Bryant?
Bear Bryant.
Final answer?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Gary. We will go ahead and get our guy Anthony back in here from the Cone of Silence. He's looking spry. He's got a quick pace to his walk here right now. Anthony, how was the Cone of Silence?
I only spent half the time in there because I went down and got some water.
Hydration's important.
Yeah. Chatted with Matthew Chambers, who's running things for the Home Run Derby for us as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was good.
You guys got to get to the cages.
Yeah.
We all do.
We certainly do.
Yeah.
But you, my friend, should probably pack a lunch.
All right.
Okay. Categories football. Yeah? You ready?
I like football.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Question 1. Patrick Mahomes' new backup in Kansas City, Carson Wentz, was selected number 2 overall in the 2016 NFL Draft. Where did Wentz play college football?
He went to North Dakota State. Final answer.
Question number 2. Only 2 wide receivers were targeted 170 times or more in each of the past 2 seasons. Tyreek Hill and who else?
Targeted. I would think Justin Jefferson was targeted a fair amount. Marsh's guy. You've got Devontae Adams. You've got CeeDee Lamb. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. I'll take the options.
Is it Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, or Amon-Ra St. Brown?
I feel like Devontae Adams probably took a dip. I'll say Amon-Ra St. Brown. Final answer.
Question number 3. On January 1st, Bo Nix's dominant performance in Oregon's Fiesta Bowl beatdown of Liberty allowed him to break whose NCAA single-season record for highest completion percentage?
I've got an idea, but I'm gonna have to narrow this down. I do have a name in mind. What are the options?
Options are Mac Jones, Case Keenum, Marcus Mariota.
Not who I was thinking of. I was thinking of Sam Bradford.
Oh, boy.
Okay, because I was listening for Bradford. You said Case Keenum, who I'm leaning toward. Who are the other two?
Mac Jones, Case Keenum, Marcus Mariota.
Oh, man. I mean, Case Keenum threw the ball all over the place for Houston. He's also the outlier. I'll go Case Keenum. Final answer.
All right. Down to final question. Joe Paterno is college football's winningest coach of all time. But who comes in second on that list with 346 victories?
I mean, I would think it'd be like Bear Bryant. I'll take the options on this one, too.
Is it Bobby Bowden, Bo Schembechler, or Bear Bryant?
Oh, you kind of threw me off with Bobby Bowden. Bobby Bowden, Bear Bryant, or Bo Schembechler. Bo won a lot at Michigan. I said Bear Bryant. I got to go Bear Bryant. Final answer. That was tough.
All right. Let's start right there. Joe Paterno is college football's winningest coach of all time. But who comes in second on that list with 346 victories? Gary, the options, he said Bear Bryant. Anthony, the options, you said Bear Bryant. Answer is
Bobby Bowden.
James' brother. 0-0 on that one. Let's go to question number 2.
I even thought Jamie's going to be proud of me. I stuck with my gut.
I thought for sure. I'm like, he's part of the options.
As soon as you said Bobby Bowden, though, I'm like, that's probably it.
All right. Question 2. Only 2 wide receivers were targeted 170 or more times in each of the past 2 seasons. Tyreek Hill and who else? Gary took the options, said Devontae Adams. Anthony took the options, said Amon-Ra St. Brown. Answer is...
It's Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. Gary up 1-0.
Good job, Gary.
Right now. Let's go with the next question. Question 1. Patrick Mahomes' new backup at Kansas City, Carson Wentz, was selected number 2 overall in the 2016 NFL Draft. Where did Wentz play his college football? Gary took the option, said North Dakota State. Anthony, without the options, said North Dakota State. Answer is, Carey?
It is North Dakota State.
There we go.
Boo.
Anthony, 2 points on that one. Gary, we're all tied up at 2. Question 3. On January 1st, Bo Nix's dominant performance in Oregon's Fiesta Bowl beatdown of Liberty allowed him to break whose NCAA single-season record for highest completion percentage? Gary took the options. He said Mac Jones. Anthony, you took the options. Said Case Keenum. He threw it all over the field. Different answers. If Gary's right, he wins. If Anthony's right, he wins. If it is Marcus Mariota, we got a walk-off here today.
I guess all 3 of them.
Gary.
You have chosen wisely.
It was Mac Jones. Gary got you 3-2 today, Anthony.
Nice job, Gary. Really nice job.
What a surprise.
Man.
Good job, Gary.
Way to go. That was a tough one. You're in that one. There's no doubt about it. Great job. So you'll be back with us tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
All right. There you go. Thanks for listening. Thanks for playing.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
I thought just like you did with Devontae Adams, like had to have taken a dip.
especially last year.
Yeah, yeah.
And 2 years ago, Josh Jacobs led the league in rushing. So, yeah. Well,
They don't have
Nice job,
anybody
Gary.
else to throw the ball to either.
No, they don't. Right. Yeah.
Justin Jefferson also injured for
most of
a
last year.
lengthy amount of time last
Yeah.
season. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, not a bad guess.
I mean, he gets
that one
hurt a
there.
lot. The Bobby Bowden one gets me, though.
Dude, I thought for sure.
As soon as you said Bobby Bowden, I go, that's it. but in my head, I'm like, I already said Bear Bryant. I got to go with the old gut.
I almost, when I did the options, I almost said Jim's brother. But then I was like, maybe that'd be misleading or leading.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be called out.
Jamie, as soon as you said Bobby Bowden, I was going to like, that's it. But I'm like, no, wait, if she says Bear Bryant. Nice job there, Gary. All right, would the Cardinals move on from Tommy Edman knowing they have Michael Siani and Victor Scott? Kind of interesting. We'll get into that. Plus, we'll get some mic drops as well. Chuck, Jake, we'll hear from you guys next on 101 ESPN.
he does it every game, and those are typically doubles. I mean, this guy, his first step is incredible. He gets to a lot. The low line drives that you think are base hits, man, he gets underneath them. He plays a really nice center field, and he's taking a good at bat. Him driving that ball to make it first and third there was a big part of it. So taking a bag, he's playing the game the right way. He's helping a ton.
That's Cardinals manager Oli Marmol, and we've had this discussion about Tommy Edman and Michael Siani throughout the course of the day today. Michael Siani has been the regular now in center field for virtually the entire season due to injuries early on. He took advantage of his opportunities. And then Tommy Edman is scheduled to come back after the All-Star break, after he missed the majority of the season battling back from off-season surgery. So we've been asking whether or not Tommy Edman will just simply return to center field, or if Michael Siani will remain there and they'll find another spot, such as second base for Tommy Edman. We asked for your mic drops as well. So let's hear from Chuck first.
Can we all just stop overthinking this? This is ridiculous. Sorry, Siani, but you're going to the bench. You are a bench player. Great glove, with the bat. Got it. Lineup should be real simple. Win, Donnie Baseball, Contreras, Burleson, Arenado, Nootbaar, Goldie, Gorman, Edman. Real simple. Come on. You know that somebody's going to get hurt on this team. Siani will be right back in there, or we'll give some days off to just give these guys days off because baseball is tough. So it's no big deal. Sorry, Siani. I still love you.
All right, I took some notes from Chuck's mic drop. One, absolutely hates defense. Hoping guys gets hurt, and doesn't like Michael Siani.
Hey, you got Goldie batting seventh, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? Was that his lineup?
I don't know if that was his lineup as much as it was just throwing guys out there.
Yeah. Sounded like a lineup to me.
Yeah. Now, is that what you guys heard? Hates defense. Really hates baseball players overall.
Well, I don't
hates
think
baseball
he said
players.
That.
Hates defense. Hates Michael Siani.
I don't think Chuck said that. I think he just is saying that Michael Siani is probably going to go back to the bench when Tommy Edman is healthy and ready to play. Which
not what I heard.
Oh, okay.
Jamie, what'd you hear?
I heard that he doesn't like Michael Siani.
There we go.
And Cardinals should get rid of him, basically.
Yeah. Are we making too big of a deal of it?
We're probably sitting here. Listen, this is, I don't want to say splitting hairs, but it is a big deal because this team can't afford to lose games.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not in a position they're not a dominant team. And especially with Goldie and Arenado not batting the way they traditionally do, your team has to rely upon pitching and defense. So your best defensive outfield has Michael Siani in it. Now, is it a significant drop-off to Tommy Edman? No. But if it's a drop-off at all in a handful of games and it costs you runs, it costs you games, then that's a problem.
But your response could be, did it cost you runs or cost you games last year? When Tommy
you see the record last year?
When Tommy Edman, well, it wasn't because of Tommy Edman. But it wasn't because of him. If they were hitting balls out there, they were probably going over the fence, and even Shaq wouldn't have been able to catch those. So
I'm just saying that Michael Siani.
If Edman doesn't have a rocket up his ass, he won't get that one.
Yeah, it was nobody catching some of those balls last year.
I'm just saying Michael Siani is catching baseballs that almost any center fielder is not catching right now. And without him in the first couple of innings the other day, you can't even compete in that ball game. He made unbelievable catches to keep you in the game. Can Tommy Edman do it? I'm sure. Maybe. I don't know. What does it look like? Tommy Edman, he's coming back from an injury, too. Like, I know it's a wrist injury, but he also rolled his ankle a little bit. Like, what does it look like? Is he going to be as fast, as good? Is the jump going to be as clean as it was before? Like, you're not the start of the season here.
Yeah.
It means he's fresh, Jamie.
Yeah, it means he's rusty.
It means he's fresh.
He hasn't seen a lot of balls off the bat.
I mean, maybe he could, yeah. I don't know. It could be honestly,
you got fresh legs.
You two, you're not wrong. Let's hear from Jake.
I think maybe we're overblowing the Tommy Edman conversation just a tad. It's taken him 4 months plus to recover and come back fully from a wrist injury that we know that type of injury traditionally saps power from players. I don't think that it's wise to assume that just because Tommy Edman is healthy enough and cleared to play, that means he is 100% the Tommy Edman from 2019 to 2022. So in that vein, let's think about it from who provides more value to the team in a role. Is it Dylan Carlson or is it Tommy Edman? Because if you're getting the same production out of Tommy Edman that you have been from Dylan Carlson, granted Tommy Edman has more positional versatility, but you're still not getting any power out of Dylan Carlson, but you still have that right-handed bat who can play in those situations and maybe help protect some of the other left-handed bats who might get overexposed against left-handed pitching. When you think about it from that perspective, I think that it makes more sense that Tommy Edman just comes in and has to re-earn that spot. And Carey, I hear you. I understand the contract plays. I don't think the Cardinals are going to look at it that way. I think that Michael Siani has proved too much in his, large enough sample size to say that he's earned center field as a starter.
Don't disagree.
By the way,
but
no, I love Marshy's Stash. This text. We appreciate you. I won't read the whole thing. I just Marshy's Stash. We appreciate you. You get radio. That's all I'll say. Yeah, so I want to be clear. I want to make sure I have it clear. Is Jake saying that the conversation kind of comes down to Tommy Edman and Dylan Carlson and like their value?
I think so. I think what it comes down to is instead of looking at it, is Tommy Edman going to replace Michael Siani? Maybe Tommy Edman, because he's not 100% back to the guy that he has been, that he would just fill what Dylan Carlson is doing, but do it better.
And just because he's coming off the injury, right?
Just for now, until he gets back to what he has been. I mean, I get it. You had the wrist injury, and you're probably not going to hit the same way.
Hey. But if he can't hit, then what are we doing?
Yeah,
right.
If he can't hit, then they wouldn't be talking about him coming
But
off of the IL.
If Dylan Carlson can't hit, but Tommy Edman can play more positions, then Tommy Edman would ultimately take that role.
Tommy Edman's a better player. He just is. He's a better player. I know that Dylan
I know
Carlson.
Marshy's argument is leave Siani alone and just have Tommy Edman be Dylan Carlson, where he's popping in from time to time here until he gets his legs under him.
But how is he going to get his legs under him if he's not
playing every day?
I don't know.
Well, then,
leave
put the guy in who hasn't played all
3
year.
weeks. I don't care. Seriously. How much has he played in the minors?
He's starting tonight.
Yeah, great.
Double-A.
Great. I'd leave him there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
He will be. He'll be back on the 19th.
3 weeks.
That's 10 days from
10
now,
days.
Carey.
That's
not
essentially
that's not
2
even
weeks.
2 weeks.
It's essentially. It's this week and then next week.
No, it's two parts of weeks.
You should have been a lawyer.
That's way different.
Technically, my client was out for 2 weeks. This week and next week.
There you go.
All right, this Fast Line on 101 ESPN. You can continue to send in your mic drops on this. Ultimately, it does come down to what we think the Cardinals are going to do and what Oli's going to do. And Oli's going to play the matchups like every manager in Major League Baseball does right now. He's going to try to mix and match, and eventually somebody will hit enough and he'll just ride with them.
I think
Oli
would have wished that Edman came back 2 weeks ago when Gorman was missing every ball that was thrown at him. Then it's easy. You have an easier one. We just put him at second.
Yeah.
Give Gorman a few days off.
Right.
Air quotes.
We'll give him
some time to get his mind together, and then it's easier. But now Gorman is hitting in July. He started hitting the ball again.
Yeah.
And so now it makes your situation a little bit harder. Somebody is going to either need to get hurt or not perform well enough, and then it will all make sense. But until then, it's going to be a tough decision to make to see who's starting.
But what they need to do is leave Nolan Gorman at the bottom of the lineup. His splits are way better batting 7th or 8th.
I agree.
Plus, you extend your lineup and it gives you a little bit more length.
Plus, too, think about it this way. Are you guys okay with Gorman hitting 8th, doing what he does, being Nolan Gorman?
I don't care.
How much does the conversation shift if he's 4th?
It's not.
He's got to do more. He's got to do more. He's got to do more. He's got to.
Well, that's what you're saying about.
Yeah, but that's
absolutely exactly.
That goes with the territory.
Hey, to hell with it.
Whatever.
Run into one.
if you get something good, if
you
not,
can do it. Just go for it. Go for it, man.
But he's batting 261 when he's batting eighth. He has a OPS of 777. That's second best compared to where he's at in the lineup. When he's batting seventh, has an OPS of 828. So 7th or 8th, whatever you want to do. But yeah, I think he's better at the bottom of the lineup.
I'm with you, kid. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We do have our sports. Excuse me. I get choked up talking about the sports six-pack and what it means to us overall here in the Fastlane. Air Comfort Service Tax Line, 314-399-9646. Send in your questions. We'll have our sports six-pack next.
Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, back with you here. We're joined by our good buddy Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. And Stewie, you talked yesterday about the Federal Reserve getting together and they were going to talk things over. What did we find out?
Well, the Federal Reserve did indicate that things are softening. The employment market is getting quieter. The economy is not overheating anymore. So these are good direction for interest rates. Now, if you're thinking about buying a house, you better hurry up, because if those interest rates do drop, guess what's going to happen? Everybody's going to be coming out and saying, okay, now I can buy a house, I can afford a house. Competition is going to be much fiercer than it is today. You're a smarter move. You buy the house now, you pay a little bit higher in the interest rate. Interest rates drop in a couple of months, you refinance for free with the bagel loan. That's a better strategy. You pay less. You get the house of your dreams. You won't have to worry about all the competition. Bam, you can get it done in 10 days.
But you do have to pick up the phone. Call Stewie right now. 314-324-4440.
Again, the 314-324-4440.
Because you don't want to be the person like Stewie just described, where you wait, and then it's too late. You don't take advantage of opportunities that you have right now, and opportunities that Stewie can tell you about. That's going to help save you a ton of money, or maybe get you out of a certain situation, maybe free up some money for yourself. But you do, again, you have to call Stewie, or you can always Google
the bagel loan.
Thanks, Stewie.
Have a good one, guys.
NMLS number 226715.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals are off today because of the weather. That damn rain. Due to forecasted inclement weather, the Cardinals game tonight has been postponed. It will be made up as a split doubleheader tomorrow. First game will be at 12:45, and then game 2 will begin as scheduled at 6:45 as the Cardinals take on the Kansas City Royals. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so if you have a question you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Sports Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by the St. Charles Gun Crew. July 14th and 15th at the St. Charles Convention Center. Visit maxshows.com.
With Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with your questions from the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Marsh, go.
Question number 1.
From the 636, there's a lot of talk about Ivan Herrera being dealt. What would you guys do about the catching situation?
This is the obvious, but what are we getting in return? If we're getting a cost control pitcher, let's just say it's somebody in the same realm as the left-hander from Miami, Jesus Luzardo. Someone who's younger, cost control, but still is more on the side of like, yeah, you know what? He's done some things, but he's still kind of it's not completely refined. I would certainly do a deal like that. If it's somebody for like older, veteran pitcher, rental deal, then no, you're not going to get Ivan Herrera.
They're probably trading more than just 1-for-1 as well.
Correct.
Because
we're talking about prospects as well.
At this point in his career, speaking of Ivan Herrera, he's a right-handed bat.
Mm-hmm.
DH.
Yes.
Because the catching thing, a little bit more work that needs to take place.
Very true.
So, I don't know. I don't know what you get in return for old Ivan Herrera. What happened? What do you, if they don't trade him, is he on this roster when he comes back?
I think he's a right bat off the bench.
So that's what you need. So
yeah,
really doesn't make sense to trade him.
No, but I think I would still
with 3 catchers.
I think I'd maybe float him out there and see who nibbles.
Yeah,
and go from there. I don't think, like, with Pajes playing the way he has this year defensively for the Cardinals, he's been great. He threw a guy out the other day. He didn't even handle the ball properly. Still had enough arm strength to gun the guy down, stealing second.
If you're Herrera, you're like,
and it was Lane Thomas. Like, there wasn't a slow player.
Right.
And Pajes fumbled the ball a little bit and threw the ball a little bit even out of place and got there in time for the guy to get the tag down.
He did that just to show off.
He did. He did. But my point being is that you've got him and Contreras, who have cannons for arms, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And Contreras' framing has gotten better. Pajes is a good defensive catcher. Contreras' big bat, too. It plays in the lineup. So I just don't know where Herrera fits in, except for a right-handed bat off the bench. So if you can float him out there and somebody nibbles. Like in your place, the Marlins, I think they need a catcher, actually.
Yeah.
Like an offensive catcher.
They got Nick Fortes right now.
Maybe that's a deal for Jesus Luzardo. Maybe that's a deal you make. Because Pajes is only 25 years old.
Jesus Luzardo.
It's funny how the season just works its way out. Because earlier this year, Anthony wanted Contreras and Herrera in the lineup at the same time. He was actually mad when they weren't both in the lineup. Remember
I was furious.
You were upset.
Well, you needed offense.
No, you did.
They were two of the only bats that were doing anything.
The Marlins apparently are open to offers on center fielder Jazz Chisholm. Not so much for Jesus Luzardo.
No.
Apparently, this is today. It's a report today. Marlins unlikely to move Jesus Luzardo.
I don't think you need another outfielder.
That's why I said a Jesus Luzardo type.
He was in the conversation not too long ago, though.
He was, yeah. Yeah, we had the conversation.
Yeah. It was out in the universe.
Question number 2.
From the Water Boy, which All-Star event would you or do you enjoy watching the most? Is it the NBA Slam Dunk Contest? No. NFL Farthest Field Goal Challenge?
No.
NHL Shootout Contest? NHL Accuracy Contest? NHL Hardest Shot? Or Major League Baseball's Home Run Derby?
Major League Baseball's Home Run Derby.
I used to like the hardest shot and the accuracy when they used to hit the little dots in the corners. That was pretty cool to me.
Yeah. But not anymore, Carey.
But not today.
I think the Home Run Derby is the most exciting to watch. I think,
is it?
I think it is, because the problem with the NHL Hardest Shot is each guy only gets 2 shots. So it's like, okay, the big build up, and then you're done.
Yeah.
I used to like when the NFL had the fast man competition and the strongest man competition.
Yeah, you know what happened then? Agents said, you're not doing that. You blow a hammy, pop a shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to sit this one out.
We're not your carnival clown.
The Pro Bowl died when Drew Brees got hurt in the Pro Bowl. They're like, you know what? Let's not do this anymore.
Not worth it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Home Run Derby's fun.
I think that the Home Run Derby, too, has evolved.
It's kind of, you're just watching, I don't know.
You could shave a minute.
Home Run Derbies are awesome.
What do they go for, 3 minutes?
They are actually awesome. Home Run Derbies are actually awesome.
They're great. Not repetitive, and they're exciting. And
yeah, you should definitely watch all of them.
Especially
yes,
softball ones.
Yeah, when they're local.
Yeah. Check those guys and gals out.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Tickets.
Question number 3.
Good seats still available.
From the 636, if you were offered a $100 million professional sports contract, but on one condition, your IQ significantly lowers, and you're known as the dumbest sports player ever, would you do it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll hire somebody to be my
dumbest
brain.
sports radio guy. Yeah, I'll just.
Or the dumbest non-100 millionaire.
Yeah. Be like, hey, buddy, you're my guy. Go buy me an island, so I can be as dumb as I want all
on
by
that
myself.
Island. Yes. Yep. Yeah, that's an easy one.
I feel like there wouldn't be that much of a drop off for us.
Nope. Kind of what I was indicating.
So if you give me $100 million, I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah.
Now, is this your actual IQ, or is it like your sports IQ?
Well, it can't be your sports IQ.
Because that's what's got you the money.
What got you the money.
It has to be your actual IQ. You have to be what we would say dumb as a box of rocks.
Well, hold on. There have been players that have been drafted very high who have been dumb.
Not
so you're asking me, so if I got a $100 million contract, it means I would have had to play in the league already. So there's a certain level of play there.
Yeah.
Now you're asking me if I'd go ahead and sign $100 million if my level of play dipped? That happens all the time, and guys aren't dumb, so I'd do that. I don't care.
Yes.
The answer is yes for $100 million.
Yeah.
Well, for sure.
Right.
Just, trying to add a little wrinkle.
Sure. I'm sure there
One less
are,
wrinkle in your brain.
I'm sure there are intellects that would say, listen, there's nothing more important than having a high IQ, a great education, and a lot of brain power, right? Those people aren't listening to this show. For sure. So the
What are you saying, Anthony? You calling out our listeners?
No, our listeners are smarter than us. There's no question about it. But they're not passing up $100 million contract for some brain cells. Okay?
314 says, Jamie already did it for a lot less than $100 million. Hats off to you.
That's who's listening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Marsh? And we love you for it.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. Why don't you go ahead and keep those questions coming in?
The 408 makes a great point.
Yes, I just read that. 408 is 100% right.
We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or your Sports 64 questions next on 101 ESPN.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by the St. Charles Gun Crew. July 14th and 15th at the St. Charles Convention Center. Visit maxshows.com.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers.
This got me right in the feels, Anthony.
Some of the things.
Every now and then, Anthony just says something so aggressive. It's like, what?
Oh, man.
It's incredible.
Definitely.
Go ahead, Marsh.
Off-air conversations are delightful.
They're solid. We are talking about at some point convincing the powers that be to do kind of a Fast Lane live, just like the Rich Show does.
That would be, it's going to be fun.
We've got some ideas.
You listening will either think, well, you either stop listening to the show altogether,
or be more drawn in,
or more drawn into the madness. Yep. Marsh, go.
Question number 4.
From the 636, in order to increase the chances of a long playoff run, what do the Cardinals need more at the deadline? A middle-of-the-order bat or a number 2 starter?
They got a middle-of-the-order bats.
They need a good number 2.
Yep.
To avoid a number 2 in October.
Oh, well.
Oh. I like and see what you did there, Jamie.
Can I get a number 1? If you're going for it?
Yeah.
Anthony, go.
Different strokes for different folks. Anthony, your
Marsh,
thoughts?
I think what the conversation should be is an ace or a middle of the order bat, because we're talking about middle of the order bat, right?
You got 2 of them.
The epicenter.
You got 2 of them.
What?
You got 2 middle-of-the-order bats. They just have to, you know who. The 2 guys that are getting paid the highest. What are you looking for? Why are you going elsewhere and going to trade something for something you already have, Anthony? Why are you going? Why? Where are we?
Give me the pitching, always.
Yeah, I was like, it's not even close.
Give me the pitching. Always.
There you go.
Pitching and defense. Have you seen a horrible defensive team ever win a World Series? No. Have you ever seen a team that couldn't pitch in the postseason win a World Series? No. Have you seen an average offense come alive and postseason heroes are made?
Yes, Cody Ross.
Exactly.
Comes to mind.
Cody the Boss Ross.
Yes.
We've seen it.
Bob's uncle.
Bob's uncle. Bob Ross's uncle. Yeah.
Little trees.
Yeah, nephew. They're not related at all. But
We don't know that.
You actually
get my
don't know
point.
that.
That's where
Bob Ross was wild.
Bob's your uncle, right? Isn't that where that came from?
Could be your dad.
Boy, I don't know. Bob's your uncle. Is that where it came from? Or did you just Stalter me there?
He just Staltered the hell out of you.
Did he?
Yeah.
I learned from the best. Nice job, Marsh. Listen, hat tip to you, sir.
Thank you.
Remember when Madeline Staltered me?
Oh, yeah.
I asked her a question one time.
With
she
Bluey?
Was like 6. Was that what it was?
Yeah,
No,
it was
she
about
was-
the episode. It was episode 12.
Oh, yeah.
that's right.
That's right. It was.
She goes, episode 12.
Yeah, what episode was that? 12.
I just kept the feet moving.
Just 6.
I don't know. I don't know how I remember that.
That's insane. Hey, we're sitting there. I'm like, oh, yeah, what episode was that? 12. Watch right out. like she knows it. What number episode? I was so proud of her that day. All right, Marsh, go ahead.
Question number 5.
From the 616, who is Jamie's dumbest teammate? We can also throw Carey's teammate in there. In relation to talent that he ever played with, obviously you do not have to give names. So maybe something dumb that said player did while you were playing with said player.
I'm glad you rephrased that, because that's not fair to ask.
Well, when I played junior hockey, we had a guy, Anthony, I've told you the story about this guy before. He was our tough guy. So he wasn't all that talented, but he was one of the toughest guys in the league. And in the summertime, he had a job up north in Canada. His job was he was bear bait.
Oh, yeah.
So they would spray him with female urine. Yeah. And trot him out into the woods along with a group of hunters. So they go bear hunting, and he was the bear bait, and his job was to attract the bears and then just run.
That doesn't sound very smart at all.
He was not.
Sounds very dangerous.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound real. Was that in Russia?
No. This is way up north in Ontario, and it definitely happened.
Wow.
It's also the same individual that, the stim units, for your back, shoulder, and all that.
Yeah.
Put him on his temples.
Oh, boy.
Put him on his temples and fired that thing up.
Yeah.
And he literally foamed at the mouth.
Oh, boy.
My goodness.
I was like, oh, my, somebody save him.
Did you and this teammate, was he the teammate that was also involved when you guys took the tasers to yourselves?
No, different teammate.
Okay.
That was self-inflicted. You haven't heard that one, have you? I tased myself one day.
Why?
Well, because I didn't really know what to expect.
You wanted to inflict it. You wanted to see.
Yeah, it was
how
like
that was
one of
gonna
those
work
little
out.
hand tasers.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the ones that fire out. It was just a little hand one. And I should have known that I was in for trouble when I turned it on and went, and I was like, and I was like,
lightsaber.
I had a couple of wobbly pops in me at the time. And I was like,
Hey, Jamie, I would hope so.
I was like, I'm just going to do it quick.
If that matters.
I was like, my legs gave up down to the floor. I was like, oh, it hurt so bad. Like my whole body was sore for like 10 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, it sucked.
Oh, man.
So it's that $100 million get you.
Yeah.
But I didn't do it again. So
you learned.
Progress.
You're so smart.
I don't know that I can think of any dumb teammate stories. I mean, I'm sure I have plenty. Off the top of my head.
I'll tell this one. There was a guy named Ed Jovanovski. Played in the NHL for a really long time. He was my teammate when I played with Team Canada. And a great guy, great player. And we're getting off of the bus into our area where we're going to be like our dorms and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And you walk up, you're supposed to say your name. Ed walks up, says, Ed Jovanovski. Lady goes, how do you spell that? He goes, E-D. No, Mr. Jovanovski, your last name.
Make sure you go to Mentality.
I swing by the medicine shop in St. Charles as well.
There you go. Wow.
So, yeah, we had one of those moments.
That's funny.
Carey, I know you had some dumb teammates. Come on.
I did have a few, but I did have a teammate that told the coach that he was in a plane crash and he was the only survivor. He was late to a meeting.
Plane crash?
He was dead serious.
Wow, they landed it on the highway.
He was dead serious, too. He's like, it was terrible. It's a plane crash. I was the only survivor.
Did he get away with it? Because that's so absurd that I would just laugh and be like, just go sit down.
I had another teammate that was running late for a meeting that crashed his car intentionally so that he wouldn't be late.
Oh, now I did have a teammate do that.
Yeah, crashed into a light pole.
No, I had a teammate that nudged another car at a stoplight.
Yeah.
So you gotta get out. And
wow.
Oh yeah, because he was late for practice.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of it's kind of a smart move, though.
I mean,
it's not.
Well, there's a full record of it. That brakes didn't work, Coach.
Yeah, sorry.
Man, it happens.
Bar's closed.
Moose outside. Should have told you.
Question number 6.
This show.
All right, final question here. From the 314, going clockwise around the room, tell us what the spirit animal is of the guy next to you.
So clockwise would be this way, right?
Yes.
So I have Marsh, the spirit animal. Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow, the spirit animal of Marsh. I mean, this incredibly nice.
Yeah.
Tame, easy going. Like a Labrador or something,
I was thinking
Labrador retriever.
Like a capybara. Those little Australian things, little furry, they're cute. Pet them.
What? I'll go with Labrador for you.
Okay.
Kind, loyal, just always typically in a good mood.
Sometimes.
You still
yesterday,
got a bark.
when you
Still got a
were-
bark to you. Yesterday, you were not happy. You're not happy. But yeah,
When it's raining, not happy.
No.
Especially when, the ball that I want or want to see doesn't
exactly.
show itself.
Right. Then you get a little
tarp on the
ticked off.
field.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one. We were just talking about bears. I think Carey, his spirit animal is a bear. Could kill you.
Yeah.
Probably
Absolutely.
wouldn't.
Very
He'd probably be
soft, though.
scratching my back in the woods.
Would it be a bear or would it be like a panda bear? Because Carey's a cute, friendly guy, but he also at the same time.
Maul your face off.
I think maybe he'll rip your
Pandas
face off.
Are actually mean.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The appearance of them. Like, 'cause
Well,
Carey's
that's what I'm
not
saying.
like-
I said could kill you.
Yeah.
But
also very
like
soft.
a black or brown bear, you automatically are afraid.
It's
But,
certainly
You
terrifying.
know,
A
you know
panda,
you're going to
like,
get jacked up.
cute. And then rips your face off. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was watching a video, and I don't know why this made me think of you. It was like a nice, cuddly monkey, orangutan, or something like that. Arms kind of all over the place.
Always
But then
climbing on top of you.
It ripped the scalp off of the man.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Holy smokes.
He literally ripped his scalp off. That's what I think Jamie is. Like an orangutan. Oh, he's so nice. And no reason. This orangutan had no reason to rip the scalp off of this man, but literally ripped his whole scalp off and took off running.
Wow.
That,
we got a
to
theme
me-
here.
Jeez, Carey. Thank you. When I look at Anthony, I look at like a badger. You know? The same concept. Like, you're like, oh, it can't be that angry. It's fine. And like, you could pet it for a couple of minutes, and then it just gets tired of you, or just gets angry, and decides to rip your arm off.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's
I was
solid.
thinking
That's a solid one.
maybe a woodpecker always banging its head into an object.
Martian. Whoa.
Yeah,
True.
Whoa.
Yeah. They typically do it, I think, to sharpen their beak, though. I definitely don't do it to sharpen my mind.
Oh.
So I like Jamie's, the badger.
The badger.
Yeah.
Because I've seen badgers, and you're like, oh, it's not so bad.
yeah.
And then you
Those-
watch them in action, you're like, yeah.
I took the kids to see Despicable Me 4. And there was a badger in there. He was just all over
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
That's Anthony gets that way.
But then he was nice and cuddly.
nice.
Right, yeah.
He was nice and kind, but one minute he was trying to kill everybody.
Yeah.
You know those honey
We got
badgers.
it covered,
honey
guys.
badger,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
Those
honey
honey
badger.
Those honey
Yeah.
badgers don't give a you know
No.
what. They don't give a fast lane.
All right, so I think we got it covered, guys.
I don't know how I feel about all this.
Yeah.
Terrors
Kinda
off
feels
orangutans,
good.
man.
Goofy, gangly orangutan that rips people's skulls apart.
I gotta find the video.
But
It is
entertaining.
terrifying.
Yeah, but
Carrie's saying you're entertaining.
oh yeah, apparently.
You want, I mean, you can't help but be drawn in, drawn close, but don't get too close.
Don't get too close.
Yeah.
You don't know
All
what
right.
I'll do.
Very instrumental in taking over the planet in that one documentary series.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a few of them actually.
Yeah.
There's many documentaries of these apes taking over.
Yeah.
They continue making them too.
Well, I mean, they've got a lot to conquer. You know?
Yeah, the text from the 314 said, I tuned in right at nice cuddly orangutan. What the?
All right, it's a fast lane on 101 to ESPN. Are we sure the Cardinals don't draft well? It's kind of an interesting tweet that was sent to us that it would indicate that they're one of the best drafting teams since 2012. We'll tell you why next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, there was a period of time where I wasn't feeling quite like myself, tired, run down, crabby, every excuse possible not to get back in the gym, and I just felt lethargic. And our guy BT actually said, hey, man, you should stop by Mentality. Check it out. I've been doing that for a while now, and I did. And Dave, one of the owners over there, he welcomed me in and sat me down with the board-certified physicians, and we went over everything I was feeling. And then he said, well, hey, let's do a blood panel and find out what's going on for real. Found out, inevitably, low in testosterone as well as some other vitamins. I've gotten on my own program now, and now they've included some of the peptides, and I'm feeling fantastic. And Anthony, I think you've had the same experience.
Well, you got it from BT. How about, for me and you? I look at you, I'm like, man, Jamie used to look terrible. And now look at him.
Yeah.
Handsome as ever.
Thank you.
And now I look terrible. Maybe I should go to Mentality. No, in all seriousness, the program is incredible, right? It's easy. It's safe. I love the fact that they're checking in constantly, right? You go in every 10 weeks or so, depending on where your program is, they take your blood and say, okay, let's recheck you. So then that way okay, I feel great, but where's the blood levels and everything? Is there anything else going on? You bring those results. I take it right to the physician. Say, hey, listen, this is what's going on. Talked to my physician recently. Like, man, everything's great. Your numbers are excellent. You look good. You feel good. That's what Mentality's done for Jamie and I. It will help you as well. So, like Jamie's saying, if you're low on energy, if you're constantly feeling like you're dragging, but you have more, head down to Mentality. 2 locations, one in Chesterfield, one in South County, or you can check them out online at lowtusa.com. Either way, check them out. And when you do, tell them that Jamie and Anthony sent you down there. They'll love to hear that. It's Mentality. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN 504. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. How many times, show of hands, have you either said or heard, the Cardinals don't draft and develop well?
I've heard that a time or two.
Thanks, Marsh. Appreciate you. Yep, there we go.
Listening.
Jamie.
He's not listening.
He's not listening.
What'd you say?
What?
He's not listening. Don't worry about it. He's fine. There we go.
There we go, man.
I asked how many times have you either said or heard that the Cardinals don't draft well?
Oh, yeah.
They don't draft and develop well.
Yeah,
right?
I've heard that.
Yeah. Well, apparently, since 2012, they've actually been one of the best teams when it comes to drafting. Our guy Swan, regular listener, loyal listener, appreciate you, Swan. He sent us this. Teams with positive WAR over-expected amongst drafted and signed players. Signed meaning like internationally signed. Bonus pool era 2012 to present, counting only B-WAR, which is WAR over expected, for the drafted team. So it's not like Randy Arozarena counts for the Cardinals. He obviously was moved, he was traded.
Yep.
And this is through yesterday. The Dodgers at a 0.4 B-WAR, Astros 14.2 B-WAR, and your St. Louis Cardinals 7.5. So we're not talking about just we're not talking about National League. We're talking about Major League Baseball. Oh. They are second behind only the Astros in terms of players that were drafted or signed and developed within this Cardinals organization. Is it that surprising though? When you look at it and you see, we've had this conversation recently. You can bag on them for some of the trades they made. And the one that I'll maintain that hurts the most is Ozuna because of what you gave up pitching-wise. But Brandon Donovan, drafted, develop here. You have Mason Wynn now, of course. Alec Burleson, drafted, developed here. Tommy Edman, drafted and developed here. Newt. Even Dylan Carlson, who has not panned out. Gorman. But Carlson's on the big league roster.
Yeah.
These are all guys that are drafted and developed here. Ivan Herrera, when he's not, he's injured. International signing. somebody that was here. Siani was a waiver claim, so he wouldn't count.
No.
But from a position player standpoint, it has been outstanding. I think as we evolve the conversation, though, Jamie and Carey, if you look at it and say, well, okay, why haven't we necessarily seen the same results as, the Astros? It's because of the pitching. They have missed either injuries or otherwise.
Or gotten rid of it.
Or gotten rid of their, their best guys.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been the pitching. That's been the issue.
Maybe the pitching is on its way. Maybe
Carey, I don't appreciate you turning this into a positive thing.
Well, there are 6 games above 500, Anthony, and so I'm going to be positive.
All right, fair enough.
And maybe the pitching is on its way. Tink Hintz, Lil P. We like to call him here.
Lil P.
Graceffo, McGreevy. Maybe those guys.
Lil G.
Lil G, yeah. Lil Mac.
Lil Mac.
Lil Mac, maybe.
Mac Daddy.
Mac Daddy. The Daddy Mac.
Yep.
One or the other.
Did you guys know that Mac Jones had some record in college football?
Did not.
That got broken by Bo Nix?
We did. I thought you meant like a record, like he recorded a record.
He maybe should, yeah.
He may have.
He may want to consider it because I don't know if his football career
as the
is.
kids say.
Look at you.
Good.
Speaking of youngins' language.
No, I think they have done a pretty good job. I think it just hasn't resulted in championships, and I think that's the frustrating part for Cardinal fans is, not just championships, but extended runs in the playoffs where NLCSs or World Series appearances. I think that's the part that frustrates Cardinal fans, and when you're looking at they're not doing a good enough job, but it probably does boil down just to pitching, and those parts not coming around just yet.
I think that's exactly what it is, yes. Because even when you think about it, like Michael Wacha, who has carved out a nice career for himself, the injuries piled up, unfortunately, for Wacha. The baton was expected to be passed between Adam Wainwright and Michael Wacha.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Wacha was supposed to be your ace for the foreseeable future when he first came up, and Wainwright was still dealing with the injuries. Now, lo and behold, Adam Wainwright wound up pitching for another, 8 years or something. But Michael Wacha was supposed to be the dude. Jack Flaherty, there was more than enough evidence, especially in 2019, that Jack Flaherty was going to be one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. Injuries, unfortunately, sidetracked him as well. And I wonder how much the COVID situation kind of got to him as well. With some of the things that he was like the injuries in the short season and maybe the not building up the innings and whatever. That may have been a problem too. Then of course you give up. In the Ozuna deal, you give up Zach Gallen and Sandy Alcantara.
Not one.
But
two.
What have they done?
So you got injuries. You have that situation. Carlos Martinez, that whole situation, injuries, off-field stuff, not great. When you draft guys like, no offense, but Dakota Hudson and Jake Woodford, and think that you can bridge the gap a little bit with those guys, they didn't have high upside, and I think it showed ultimately. So the missteps came from a pitching standpoint, but from a position player standpoint, the Cardinals have knocked it out of the park, quite frankly.
Well, we get a text that says, I can't find it now, I've lost it. Here it is. From the 314 says, lots of singles and doubles types draft picks, high floor, low ceiling. Meaning that they're not drafting the superstars. Like, they're developing players, but they're middling.
I would flip that then. I wouldn't say high floor, low ceiling. I would say low ceiling, high floor.
That's the same thing.
Is that what he said?
It's literally the same thing. He said high floor, low ceiling.
And you said low ceiling, high floor.
Yes, he did.
Did I?
Then you're just getting squished. You don't have a ton of room.
It's exactly what you meant.
Low ceiling.
High floor.
High floor.
Yeah, so like high floor, low ceiling? Yeah, that's it, Anthony.
I apologize to the texter and to all of you listening. Yes, I agree. No, I completely agree with that. All kidding aside, after I jacked that up. Yeah, I think that has been the Cardinals' model.
But I think that, like, Dylan Carlson was supposed to be a high ceiling guy. Jordan Walker projects to be a high ceiling guy.
And we still don't know.
We don't know. Mason Wynn, I think that's a high ceiling guy at this point. So I feel like in the last handful of years, they've done a much better job of finding some high ceiling players.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was this texter's right. It was like Pete Cosma. Like, we know Pete's going to make it.
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
There was a bunch of those guys.
But it is it's like your Alec Burleson, your Donovan, your Edman, like all these guys that are like they're good, but you know.
Don't want to lose them.
Don't want to lose them, but
if you're not drafting in those top spots, you're not probably getting those high ceiling players, right?
Not always, yeah.
You're gonna have to find a diamond in the rough, or even a guy that you draft later on and say, okay, he's much better than, because if he was projected higher, he'd been gone by the time we got to him.
Very true.
So that plays a part in it too. That's also, that's like the NFL draft. Anytime you're a team that is just good enough to make the playoffs, but not bad enough to have a higher draft pick, you're going to be you got to find those guys that are not highly as touted as some of the other teams that are drafted.
Which goes to show you, though.
Same thing with the Blues, right?
Well, yeah. It goes to show you, too, though, like the Cardinals over the last 10 years or so, they've had to go out and acquire superstar talent.
Yeah.
They've had to go out and acquire, like Goldie, Arenado, like they've had to, Contreras even, like they've had to go out and get it.
Yep.
They haven't drafted or developed yet, anyways, that superstar.
Go get it. 512, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Do the Cardinals need another right-handed bat? How important is it to acquire somebody at the deadline that can hit right-handed? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and if you are tired of paying those high utility bills every month because your home AC just keeps running because it's hot outside, well, then you need to reach out to Window Nation to get you some of those energy-efficient windows. If yours are builder grade or over 8 years old, the seals are likely broken, air is leaking out on a day like today, maybe the water is seeping in, and you're paying high utility bills all year long. Window Nation's high-quality windows are built to last a lifetime. Right now, for every 2 you buy, you can get 2 windows free. There's no limit to how much you could save. Plus, you could save even more with 0 down, 0 interest, or payments for 24 months. Window Nation's windows come with a lifetime warranty and can be installed in 1 day or less. They are even recently ranked highest on the Forbes list of best window installation companies. So you can trust Window Nation for high-quality, affordable windows. Stop paying more than you have to. Schedule a fast in-home estimate right now at 866-90Nation or visit them online at windownation.com. That's 2 free windows with every 2 you buy, 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months. 866-90Nation or online at windownation.com.
Last night on 101 ESPN, Katie Wu was on with BK and Ferrario earlier today, and the Cardinals insider with The Athletic discussed where, if the Cardinals were to acquire a right-handed bat, where that right-handed bat would slot in. Here's Katie Wu.
I think you're looking for an outfield bat if you're John Mozeliak on the Cardinals, and you're looking for that specifically because they don't really truly platoon, right? Like Brendan Donovan, Lars Nootbaar, when healthy, they stay in the lineup every day. So will Alec Burleson. Oli Marmol made that clear over the National Series, and he talks about guys that he just simply won't platoon. And Burleson has earned every bit of being a mainstay in the lineup. Where he'd like to maybe platoon the position is center field. Michael Siani, in my mind, Gold Glover defender, not the best production against left-handed pitching. So if you're looking for an outfielder that can slot in, and this kind of ties into if Tommy Edman is healthy or not, then all of a sudden you have a little bit more flexibility where you can platoon the positions, not necessarily platoon the players, but you can get your best kind of maximum lineup output by putting in a right-handed outfielder that can play the corners, maybe some center, but that's not like a true requirement. You're also looking for a rental. I don't see the Cardinals going out and looking for someone that they can sign for ample years of control because they don't feel like they need that. What they need is a stopgap solution for the final 2.5 months of the season from the right side that can slug the ball.
There you go. So, your
Anthony,
thoughts?
I'm going to ask you a question. All of you. Why do the Cardinals need a right-handed bat?
Oh, that's simple. Because the two right-handed bats aren't performing well enough.
Bingo.
That's why I said you don't need them. They're going to perform.
Goldschmidt and Arenado aren't hitting.
That's right.
And they're the top right-handed guys.
Because if they were hitting, the Cardinals wouldn't be looking for a right-handed bat.
Yeah, you're right.
They would
You're
have,
absolutely
they'd have absolutely no need.
Yep.
So now the focus is going to be on getting a right-handed bat. And I worry that the focus will be on that so much that they'll just go get a whatever pitcher, like a whatever.
Yeah.
Rich Hill, like that.
I love how Rich Hill's become.
He's become the
poster child of the guy we don't want that the Cardinals will acquire. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. When was the last time the Cardinals got a bat at the deadline?
Matt Holliday.
No,
I mean, seriously, I'm thinking about this. When was the last time they acquired a bat?
Well, when did they get Ozuna?
That was the offseason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the last couple of years, you've had like Quintana. Last year, they were sellers.
Yeah.
You had Quintana and Montgomery.
22.
You had J-Happ and John Lester the year. I mean, back in the day, it was the Edward Mojica. When was the last time they got a bat at the deadline?
Of significance.
Yeah.
Because, I mean.
Right, yeah, not
just a player.
Right.
The two that stand out to me, Matt Holliday and Mark DeRosa.
Which was 09 and 08, I think.
Yeah.
08, 09?
Yeah.
So Marshy's stash says Moss. Berkman was a signing. Marty said Berkman, but Berkman was a signing. Brandon Moss
in 2016? Is he really
Did they acquire him that way? I
don't know.
For some reason, I thought he was a signing,
sounds
but
right.
Marsh's stash is probably all over it. Let's see here.
We have a couple of. We got Rafael for Cal.
That's a long time.
Beltran.
Yeah,
Beltran was a signing.
Looks like they got him from Cleveland in 2015.
Okay. So that was it.
We've got a Will Clark.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Holy smokes.
That's a long time, man.
Yeah. I mean, even Brandon Moss, like you said, 2015?
It's 2016, I think.
Wow. So it is not in Mo's MO to acquire a bat.
No, it is not.
It is either a cheap-ass pitcher or a reliever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, an old cheap-ass reliever or starter.
Pitcher.
Well, maybe they need to change something up.
So who would you get? That's going to be the next question we get.
Brent Rooker.
Brent Rooker would be great, but you're going to have to give up something. You won't have to give up what it would take to get Luis Robert from the White Sox, but Brent Rooker's having an outstanding season.
It'd be great if the Mets could suck for an extended period of time.
Who do you want from them?
Pete Alonso.
The big...
To play where?
Wherever the hell. Put him at DH. Put him at first base. I don't care.
They have a first baseman.
He ain't hitting like Pete Alonso.
But again, we're talking about Michael Siani and Tommy Edman and not knowing where to play any of these guys. You add another guy to that, then you create even more of a mess.
No, we don't.
Unless this guy is strictly coming off the bench. But at that point,
and why though? Like, why add a bench bat? That would be my.
No, I think they'd add a DH bat.
They got a right-handed bat coming back in a couple of weeks.
Who's that?
Tommy Edman.
Left and right.
Yeah, but he's right.
They're talking with pop, though. Tommy Edman doesn't have pop.
No, he's a 15.
You're going to hope that Goldie and Arenado hit the baseball. That's what they're going to do. Because they need.
They're not going to acquire. Honestly, we could just stop with this conversation. They're not going to acquire a bat. I know. Oh, Marcia's stash brings up a great point. I gave up the 618 to get that possum a couple of years ago.
Oh, we could.
But we never got the possum.
We never did. Did we get future considerations?
No.
We didn't get
because
that.
it's Oakland. You know?
That's true.
That's how they operate, Marsh. They just decide, hey, you know what? We can't find the possum, so we're not going to send it to you. Deal's off.
What about Kevin Pillar?
Yeah, he's fine.
I mean, it's a Cardinals
That's
move.
That's the guy that Marsh wanted. Marsh was all about Kevin Pillar.
That's a Cardinals move. Nothing sexy about it.
No.
We want a right-handed bat? That's a right-handed bat.
He's a good player.
He's fine.
He's good, not great.
Where are these people going to be? Where are they going to play? When are they going to play? How are they going to play?
Not well.
Your bat is coming back. Ivan Herrera will be healthy. He can be your right-handed bat off the bench that you need. You hope that Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado do what they're paid to do and hit more.
Been hoping for 90 games.
Well, you got enough left, right? 70 some odd games left. My math is correct.
72.
Okay, there you go. 72 games. Don't forget about that extra 2.
No, you better not.
So what we're saying is,
it ain't happening.
It's not happening. Yeah. They're going to get a pitcher, and we all want a pitcher.
And it's not going to be the pitcher
Cardinals
that you want.
Right. Cardinals get a pitcher we don't want. Say aye.
Aye.
Yep. All right.
Ayes have it.
I think we got it.
Could they also get a pitcher that we don't necessarily want, but could be a good pitcher? Like who said, I want Jordan Montgomery. I want Jose Quintana.
Jamie?
Who the hell said that?
Well, you didn't say you wanted it. When it happened, you loved it.
Fair.
Yeah.
Very fair.
Could it be one of
This
those
is like a lot
types
of
of
things.
players?
This isn't bad.
I don't want to do that. Wait a minute.
That's fine. Yeah, Marsh, it could be. So to your point, even the J-Hap John Lester experiment after John Lester faced Atlanta at home in that disastrous start, John Lester wasn't bad for you.
He was fine.
Yeah.
He was fast lane fine.
Fast lane fine. That's right.
Exactly that.
Yes. All right. It's fast lane. We've got our biggest question of the day. No game tonight, so we can't play we can't play beat the streak. No home run derby. I had a lot of momentum from yesterday.
You did.
Thank God the WNBA is back.
Got one game tonight, Marsh.
Absolutely. And I lost. Bet the board last night.
Because you didn't have WNBA?
Yeah.
You're going to get back on track tonight, though.
I hope.
Mm-hmm. Who do you got, the Lynx tonight?
Yeah, the Lynx, probably.
Lynx and Sparks?
Something like that. I got to check again.
Okay. You're all over it.
I'm all over it.
Biggest question of the day is next on 101 ESPN. Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum just extended their hail sale for a limited time, so you can enjoy massive price discounts with no payments for 3 months and no down payment available on select new and used inventory. All current Nissan specials and incentives are eligible for any hail-affected new Nissan. So you can actually stack up the discounts and save thousands in the process. How many times you go to dealerships or even stores and you're like, hey, you got a couple of different offers here. Can I stack them up? And they're like, nope, you can't. Not at Artisan's Nissan Herculaneum. You can do that. All Nissan specials and incentives, again, all eligible for any hail-affected new Nissan. 700 vehicles on their lot. One location out in Herculaneum. You're bound to find the perfect car that fits your needs and budget. Might not be a car. Might be a truck. Might be an SUV. Might be, I don't know, maybe a van. They've got it all at Artisan's Nissan Herculaneum. As always, every offer includes 30-day new car return promise, complimentary lifetime warranty on new and eligible used vehicles, complimentary one-year maintenance on new Nissan purchases. It's all there out in Herculaneum. Auto Centers Nissan. Tell them Stalter sent you.
.101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals game today has been postponed due to forecasted inclement weather in the area. It will be made up as part of a split doubleheader tomorrow. So the Cards will take on the Royals at 12:45, and then game 2 is scheduled for 6:45. We talked all day long about this whole Michael Siani, Tommy Edman situation, what's going to happen after the All-Star break. If you missed any of those conversations, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. You'll find all of our interviews and our full shows there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have our biggest question of the day coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
All right, you heard the man with the big voice there. Time for the biggest question of the day. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Here is Andrew Marsh.
All right, Anthony, before I get to this question, obviously this is going to appear on our YouTube feed, not so much on the radio, but I have this nice red bow tie that I'm going to put on real quick.
All right,
nice work.
Today.
Yeah.
I remembered my bag.
Nice.
Let me get this strapped on.
Yeah, get it strapped on there.
Well said.
The bow tie.
The bow tie.
Of course. People can't see.
Of course.
What's going on.
Yep.
It's a good point. Because they're in their car or at home.
Yeah, you want to make sure you clear
that up. Yep. Nice job there.
Well, I have the bow tie strapped on. From the 636, hey boys, anybody see lately about Yamamoto being hurt and Blake Snell looking like a bust? Maybe Mo pulled all the right strings and low-key is beginning to look like a genius. Does anyone agree? Mo for president.
Mo.
He is president already.
Knows. Yeah, that's true.
Baseball operations.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
So we've
already done.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, it's done.
We're good.
Agreed. Yeah, he's got the job.
No, if we're going to criticize the man for not doing certain things a year ago after, he basically sat on his ass and didn't do anything, and then you watch. You watch
this team is 6 games above 500, Anthony.
Oh,
No,
don't you
it's about
start.
a year ago.
Don't you start.
Yeah,
I was talking
6
about last
games.
Hold on.
Oh, you're talking about 2023.
I was talking about 2023 when he didn't do anything. And then the team stunk Ola. And some of those players that he didn't show any interest in actually pitched well.
Yeah.
This season, so if we're going to criticize last year, this year, I think you deserve some credit. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Wow. He's doubling up.
He's doubling up. Marshy with the glasses on.
Anthony, I don't know if you know this,
boy.
but one of the best hitters right now on the team, Wilson Contreras, was actually signed last year heading into 2023. So to say that John Mozeliak did nothing last offseason would be an insult to his character and his position within the organization. Your thoughts?
You're absolutely right. If I can amend something.
I would appreciate it.
All right. Now, while Mo did sign Wilson Contreras, he sat on his ass and did nothing for the pitching staff, and it blew up in his face. But this year, this offseason, he says, no thanks to Jordan Montgomery, no thanks to Blake Snell, kick rocks, and turns out made the right decision on that.
Anthony. Jordan Montgomery was traded mid-year. He knew that he wasn't going to have a great 2024 season. So to say 2023 once again was all a wash, I think you have to take the entire body of work when it comes to John Mozeliak.
Yeah, no, good call. I think Mo should be the president of baseball operations for the Cardinals.
Well done.
Yeah. No, you're right, Marsh. Good call. Nice work. He also brought in Siani. He did while we're skiing. Yeah. Acquired him off of waivers.
He did. I think that, look, unless Mo's bringing in the Matt Hollidays, the Jim Edmans, the big flashy player, the high dollar players, nobody's happy. I mean, I didn't hear anybody complaining when he brought in Paul Goldschmidt.
No.
I didn't hear anybody complain when he fleeced the Rockies for Nolan Arenado, even though somebody had that guy at gunpoint making the trade.
No, that's not true. He was hammered.
Yeah. Good point.
I mean,
they didn't complain when Marcell Ozuna got here either. They didn't complain then.
No.
They complained after.
Yeah.
He was climbing walls and the ball was dropping, 20 feet in front of him.
People don't talk enough about the fact that the new LED lights were installed at Busch Stadium.
God.
You got confused.
That play was
sometimes you can't see that wall. But the amazing part is he did it in Milwaukee too. Yes, he did it in Milwaukee.
Best part is his cleats got stuck too.
Yeah.
Face planted. My gosh.
Where were you going?
I have how was he so scared of a ball that was hit so shallow?
Well, when you're playing, you got to go back.
You know
first.
what it is?
How can you misread that badly?
First, you don't want to go forward.
No, you don't go forward first,
then
Carey.
you get over your head.
Going back doesn't mean climb the wall.
Nah, Jamie, keep the ball in front of you.
I think
at all times.
Marcelo Ozuna had a vision at like practice one day and jumped up on the wall. I'm going to make a catch by climbing the wall.
Yeah.
And he thought this was his opportunity. He's like, yes.
No. The wind knocked it down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's totally the wind on that one. Yeah. Yeah. You can see the look that CD just gave. How dare he wear?
No, I was excited.
Glasses. No, yeah, he
when
was.
the sign, when the ring went off, I was who? Oh,
yeah. Who is it?
Who
We
is it?
established yesterday that if you put the red glasses on, it does not indicate that the Cardinals will lose. Plus, they're not even playing today.
Yeah, they can't lose.
Yeah.
They cannot
Carey
lose.
wearing the glasses got a rain out today. Way to go, Carey.
Carey.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
No, push back on that. He put them on before the game started.
Yeah, and they won.
Boy, how
proud of our
how big
cards.
is this too tonight with the Cardinals? Need a little day off.
Yeah.
Oh, they called it early, too.
Yeah, you're right.
They did.
Like, we're not even going to push this with.
Like, apparently both teams were like, hey, by the
You're
way.
gonna wait, stop, because you're gonna upset Marshy again.
Well, no, because they did it early.
No,
They listened.
they didn't do it early for him though.
But they made up for it by not
don't
making
know.
the same mistake.
They did it. They did it again a couple of weeks ago.
They did me dirty.
They could have done it again today, though, and had everybody down at the stadium right now. And
I mean, it's not raining.
concessions.
It's not
Yes.
raining now, so I mean, they missed out on some money.
John and the snake pit. Guys, don't you wish you were taking whatever it was that Ozuna was taking when he jumped at the wall?
100%.
Clearly, he was
100%.
seeing things.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to be him.
I don't want to be him.
No, not as a human being.
John
no.
didn't say want to be him.
Taking
Take
whatever
what he
he was
had.
taking.
Yeah.
Then he become Marcelo Ozuna from the Braves.
No.
Yeah.
He's hitting the ball really well. The ball. He's hitting the ball. The ball.
No,
hitting the
Jamie.
ball really well.
That's terrible.
Doing great.
He's an all-star.
He's going to be the home run derby.
Is he?
Yeah, they added him. Major League Baseball says, yeah, we're holding guys accountable. We're going to add Marcelo Ozuna to the home run derby, even though he's not an all-star.
They're trying to slow him down. That's what happens when
They
you
got
do it.
Aroldis Chapman throwing out the first pitch. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Some guys are all-stars. Some guys play in the Mexican League still.
Yeah.
Well,
By the way,
that's
the guys who play in the Mexican League, one in particular, is absolutely shoving.
He's going to be shoving for a while, Jamie. Down there.
To the point where he's calling his pitches before he throws them and striking guys out.
He won't be playing here, unfortunately.
No. Instead, we've got guys who are in the home run derby who they've got a great track record too. You know?
I saw this documentary once.
Point taken.
Yeah.
There was another guy that was a really good pitcher in Major League Baseball and then went down to revitalize his career in Mexico.
Yes.
Some called him La Flama Blanca.
Yes.
But then once he got to the majors, he said, fast lane it, I'm out. Gotta go get my honey.
Right. It's
And then he
interesting.
faked his death.
Wow. Yeah. That's a lot. That sounds like a good documentary.
No wonder it
overall.
took a while to get him signed.
Yeah. I thought you were going to talk about the one documentary where the one guy was pitching in the California Penal League.
I thought he was going to talk about the guy that was pitching in Japan. Thick mustache guy. He wasn't pitching. He was playing in Japan.
Oh,
He
no,
was
that
playing
guy's
at
real.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a first baseman.
Yeah. He's a pretty good player.
It's Mr. Baseman.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Miles Michaelis.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Eric Thames. Yeah,
Miles
no.
Michaelis, mustache, played overseas.
Yeah.
I'll cut the mics.
All right. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Bet the board, 3 stars of the day. Criticisms, compliments next. Went down to the MAC today and got my workout in, showered up, did some prep work down there, chatted with a few folks. It's a great spot. It's a great spot to meet new people, network if you're somebody that likes to do business from the standpoint of not being in the office all the time. Missouri Athletic Club, it winds up being perfect, especially during the summertime as well. The family spot, great for the West Clubhouse. Take the family to the pool, enjoy all the amenities there. Downtown, excellent for Cardinals games too. You can park there, take the shuttle over to Busch Stadium. Shuttle takes you right back to the MAC after the game. Enjoy some great food, some drinks at the Jack Buck Grill. It's my MAC, Missouri Athletic Club. Missed anything throughout the show today, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 ESPN mobile app. All brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We got a great question today in the Sports Six Pack about who would be our spirit animal. And we all chose one for each other. And kind of a theme. Kind of a theme that went on. Cute and cuddly on the outside, absolutely ferocious on the inside, I think was the theme.
Pretty much.
Except for Marsh. He's just a Labrador Retriever. He's a great companion.
Loyal.
Lovable.
Yep.
Just all around great.
Got that dog in me.
Got that dog in you. Yep, absolutely. Yep. All right. What's the latest standings for Bet the Board?
All right, Jamie is 4-0.
Jeez. Got you on fire.
It's all right. You saw what happened last month.
That's true.
We did.
I almost gave it all back.
Yeah, he tried to get
I
it back.
did see what happened
I
last
felt
month. The guy won.
You feel bad?
Throwing games.
Anthony, you and I are tied 3-1. Carey is 2-2.
All right.
Okay. So, Jamie.
All right. So, there's one game in the WNBA tonight.
Stop.
Got the Lynx and the Spark. But I'm going to the Yankees and the Rays. Carlos Rodon on the bump for a struggling Yankees team here recently. They got him at 6.5 strikeouts. I say they're full of bleep. I'm going with the under on this one.
Okay. You got the Lynx and the Sparks tonight. And let me check the latest here, because I do like one of the performers tonight to go over in points. And that would be the one and only De'Erica Hamby. Give me Hamby over 18.5 points tonight.
There you go.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Yeah. She's gone over 4 of her last 5 games.
Well, that's not my pick. Give me the under 158.5 tonight in the W. Minnesota taking on LA. I'm looking at the trends here. The last, let's see here, 5 matchups between these two teams, these two historic franchises. I mean, they really are. The Lynx they have a lot of championships, Anthony.
That they do.
The last 5 matchups, all of them have hit the under. The under has hit. Give me the under.
All right, give me the over in the Yankees Tampa Bay Rays. The game is about to start in 2 minutes. Damn, y'all taking all day.
Hang on. I want to go back and change
What's
my
the
pick.
over?
7.5.
That's really fun.
Oh, my God.
I was wondering, I didn't know what you were panicked about.
We would have gave it to you, Carey.
Yeah, we would have. Absolutely.
No, because Mr. Stalter over there, once the game starts, he can't get it.
Yeah, but if it's 0-0 still.
Yeah.
I don't know.
As long as there's
I wouldn't bring out the honey badger for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're always making amends for these rules.
And the game
Marsh.
just started just now.
If we are being honest, live money line bets
That's
are
true.
a thing.
Yeah, you're right.
They are.
You right.
You
The
could
game
ride that wave.
literally just started.
Yeah.
You could.
Does that change things for Bet the Board?
No.
The live
If the game started.
live
Well,
bet?
but if it's live betting.
Yeah, because the odds are updated.
Yeah.
So now.
The odds are in real time. then.
So we can choose a game that's already started?
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so for example, Carey, you choose the over.
Yeah.
All right, and somebody hits a home run first pitch. Okay, the total would have changed. So if you still want the over, yeah, but you get it at the updated
And the
total.
odds would be against you at that point, too. It'd be much more difficult.
Gator asked, how does the home run derby versus Riz show work this year?
We beat them.
Yep, we beat them like a drum.
They complain. We apparently
cheating.
cheat.
They cry
They
even
cry.
more.
And nothing gets resolved,
No.
even though we beat them.
Well, let's
like
make
a
it
drum.
convincing, more convincing this year. There are no, if you win by 20, is there a complaint to be had?
They'll find something.
They'll find something, but ultimately, no, we beat them by 20. That'd be phenomenal.
We might have to pick up a bat.
Probably.
If we're going to beat him by 20, I'm just saying.
Jamie, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah. I moved it in the garage the other night, the bat.
You bought one last year, didn't you?
I did.
I'm going to go to
Well,
one
they
of the
end up
games.
using it? I don't know. You did, yeah.
Did I?
No,
Maybe I'll
you
go
didn't.
this weekend.
Maybe you didn't. I don't know. Somebody used it.
I'll take
It's
some
got marks
video
all
and
over
send
it.
it to you.
Huh?
Send some video of me at the batting cages.
There you go.
We'll break down your swing is what we're going
Yeah.
to get the iPads out.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Send one.
Are you a right-hander?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
We should do that. We should just bring an iPad once we're done. We just look at it, even if there's nothing on there, just to really play into it.
Marshy and I are lefties.
Yes.
So we got a balanced order.
Yes, we
they're
do.
all righties.
Yeah, we're
Now, what is our order? Do we get to decide that?
Every year they seem to do that.
They do it for
Really?
us.
What?
Yeah, we don't have any say on that.
And in the last 2 years, it hasn't been 1 versus 1. It's total home runs.
Right.
So, like, if Anthony goes and King Scott goes, it's not Anthony versus King Scott.
Yeah,
It's
we're
how
just-
many home runs can Anthony get, and our total home runs together is what our number is.
How many pitches do we take? How many
3
faces?
minutes?
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
If you're
You get a
like
timeout?
me, you get 100
You get one.
pitches.
You get a
I
timeout?
swing at everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamie does.
I'm Nolan Gorman of the fast lane.
Yeah, I don't know if our guy Brooks is going to be out there again. Hopefully he is.
Yeah, oh, he was good.
Brooks is a great guy.
That's not an easy job.
No, it's not.
To
Yeah,
keep
he-
everybody happy with where he's pitching
No
the ball.
kidding. He does a great job,
He
though.
does a
But yeah,
great
he threw a rosin bag at Jamie one time. Jamie swung right through it.
I
Yeah.
hit it. I didn't care.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't have to swing at everything. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
I'm not getting cheated, sir.
Because I might have a chance.
Yeah,
And there was a
you
couple
never
I
know.
picked out of the grass.
Absolutely.
And put them over the fence.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let's get to, we have one criticism and or compliment from the water boy. The fast lane today was like a National Geographic. I learned about badgers, possums, and how female bear urine works to attract male bears. I better stop wearing my female bear urine deodorant when I go hiking.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Should stop that.
I would avoid it, depending on where you're hiking, though.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it-
if you're way up in the
Yeah.
mountains, bears aren't going up there. Like, if you're like in the
They
mountains.
won't go way up in the mountains.
They don't climb?
They don't
climb.
tend to climb. They like the wooded areas because they will climb the hell out of a tree in a hurry. I'll
I was
tell you
gonna
that.
say, I thought they
It's
climbed
the biggest
trees.
mistake people make is,
Yeah.
I'm going to run up the tree.
Yeah, no.
Bear's like, thank you.
Yeah.
See these 6-inch claws that I've got?
Right.
I'll be right behind you.
What do you do against a bear?
So there are different rules. Black bear, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Either a black bear or a brown bear. One of them you stand still, the other one you run. You should Google which one it is to make sure. But I did Google that one time.
Yeah.
Polar bear, you're
done.
You're screwed.
Polar
They're
bear,
angry.
yeah,
They're
they're-
very angry
yeah.
individuals.
There's nothing you can do about a polar bear.
Yeah,
but a
they're
black
vicious.
bear or the brown bear, one of them you stand still, one of them you run. You figure it out which one is which.
I'm just
Not
picturing.
true.
Carey told me to stand still.
Is that a black bear or brown bear? Oh, he's got black fur. I can't tell.
Hard to tell.
No, we got them up in Canada where I'm from originally, and yeah, there's the thought process of don't move quickly, and then there's the other thought process of some old guys down in the village. They're like, no, you grab branches and you make yourself appear to be as big as you possibly can. But you don't chase them. You just make yourself like big, and then they're like, maybe next time. I'm like, what if he's had a couple of whiskeys?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I want to pick on something a little bigger.
Right. All right, Marsh, what do you got for 3 stars?
All right, third star of the day goes to strap-on bow ties.
Yes. Well said.
Second star of the day goes to batting average. Some people care more about batting average than their own kids.
That's correct. That was actually said today, right here on this show.
And our first star of the day goes to spirit animals.
Nice. Well done. Well done.
Over here.
We have. Carey showed us the video.
Yeah. Check that one out.
Yikes.
Horrifying.
Yeah.
Show your children.
Not great. We have instant replay coming up from 6 to 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. For Andrew Marsh, for Carey Davis, for Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. Thank you so much for listening. See you.